going on, y'all? We are back. Consistency is key.
Facts.
And this is really weird because we never really had a guest in a long time.
Yeah.
It's been like a year since we had a guest on here. But
and a special guest nonetheless.
Special.
Yeah.
Yes, man. So off the bat, it is the Brown Steve Jobs mixed with Steve Austin, Ozzy Mandius. Here to my right, your left, the Gustoso from the Lost Borough, Clown Prince.
You know.
And introducing, he don't have a villain name.
Not yet.
Not yet, but our guy, Real World Flash.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Is on here with us today. Welcome to the Chillin with Villains podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. This is lit. And
Real World of Flash.
Yeah, and we are here to talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths.
We are.
And these guys are connoisseurs of the sort. And I'm just gonna moderate and spectate. That's it. That's all I'm doing today. So the floor is yours, gentlemen. The floor is yours.
If you got questions,
or
ask right ahead, my guy.
If you got sly remarks, make them.
I got plenty of questions. Go ahead, man.
First and foremost, like you said, Eunice, thanks a lot for having us. I'm sure. I mean,
other way around. The reverse.
Wow. You already took over the podcast. It's over. This is yours. This belongs to you
keep the mic.
You want the camera and the phone too? Thank you for joining us. We
thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it. Yeah. I'm sure most, if not all, of our followers know of you or follow you. And yeah, if y'all don't, go follow him. Real World of Flash.
Yes.
There you
Real
go.
World of Flash.
So, yeah, man. Let's talk. Let's chill. Before we get into the crisis stuff, we got to talk about. You can get in this.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Snyder's photo of Henry Cavill in Black Superman.
Let's do it.
Like.
God damn.
So in the morning.
What are y'all thoughts on that? Like, when you see it, photoshopped or not, when you see it, what is that connection you make in your head?
We were robbed. We were robbed.
Don't you have one?
We are robbed.
Like, man, I won't lie. I'm not the biggest Snyder fan in the world. I'll say that off the bat.
Right.
I'm not the biggest Snyder fan. I feel like there's a lot of mistakes within the universe.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do think that he was robbed of his own cut, his own movie, his own vision. So I feel like he deserves at least for the people to see his own vision, what he intended it to be. That's my take on it.
His vision being robbed is our vision being robbed. Because
collectively, yeah. I agree.
It's like, especially, like you said, you're not the biggest Snyder fan and everything, but you said you love Man of Steel.
I love Man of Steel.
And you were okay with Batman vs. Superman.
I was okay.
Could have been better, but you were okay with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if this movie, or however Zach wanted to do it, part 1, part 2, because originally that's what it was supposed to be.
That's what it was, yeah.
And, regardless whether you like Man of Steel, like Batman vs. Superman, if you stuck around, you wanted to at least see that whole Superman arc come to a conclusion. Because I know most people's complaints, like, this is not hopeful Superman, the beacon of hope that we all know. But it's like, Zach was getting to that. Why don't you see his struggles first, how he became the Man of Steel? Not just throw him in a movie and, he's already, flying, saving kittens from a tree. It's like, no, like, he is an alien who has come on another planet and has to prove himself to us because we don't know.
Real world shit.
Right.
Like
so, man, when I saw that photo, like I said, real or not, and then it always brings me, right after I saw it, I went and watched that deleted scene of him entering the scout ship. And I was like, man. And when he just looks at it.
If you see the actual deleted scene, like there was deleted scenes that were released in their, I think the extended Blu-ray cut, whatever that was. Yeah, whatever.
Missed that one, my guy.
The 4-minute extra footage. And then you see like there were leaked clips by this guy named like The Ascended or whatever that was.
I sent it to them.
Yeah.
It was originally
the
it was,
colors
it was
were
swapped.
reversed. So like the black suit you see in the Blu-ray version was actually the blue suit.
It was actually his original
And then-
suit. The one he looks at is the black suit. The
Yeah.
one he looks at and
And
comes
then
out of would be the black suit.
would be the black suit.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull
Yeah,
up the thread. I'm
pull
gonna pull
up-
up the
yeah.
thread on that I saw on Twitter because Zach was actually answering a lot of fans about
He
it.
was.
Yeah.
So
Which-
like
Pull
basically
that
it
up.
was reversed. So like when he looks at the black suit and then he turns around and gets the blue suit, it was reversed. He would look at the blue suit and then he turns around and wears the black suit.
But isn't that? I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't imagine it coming out like that.
Mhm.
Like him, because I thought there would be like a more scientific way for the suit to be black. For example,
Right.
to me, he gets his powers from the sun, our sun.
Exactly.
So I thought he was buried. I thought it would be cool for him to be buried with
In
the suit. So the
exactly.
suit just loses its color as well.
Mhm.
And then when he comes out, it's black until he gains the color somehow. But I don't know how that, like, he would have freaked out. But
Right.
that would have been really cool.
It would have. But so yeah, look, one of the comments on Vero. I hope this isn't the film boss. I heard you shot what you wanted along with things certain other people wanted as well. Zach replied, "If you ever see my film, this is the suit." Another one.
He mentions it being his suit for like the next movie or two or something like that too.
Yeah, again, it was supposed to be part 1, part 2. So he was supposed to rock that up until part 2, where he finally goes back to being, Man of Steel. And then another one. I'm assuming this part. Well, I cannot read. I'm assuming this was part of a Flight 2.0 sequence after he goes to the scout ship, like the storyboards you
response right here.
showcased, or a different scene entirely. He wrote, "Nice."
It's the best response.
He's like, "Nice." He's probably like, "Yeah."
Frame
you got
that,
it."
bro. Frame that.
You're going to break the internet. What's next? Green Lantern? He's like, don't tempt me.
Yo.
Yo, if we get Green Lantern, I'm rushing to HBO. Like, yo, release this shit.
That's nuts.
Do you mean he wears it even at the final battle? Yes. he's just like literally. There's no lie detector for him. He's like, yeah, this was it.
But and the thing is also, we can't even like whether it's gonna be released ever or not. We just have to take his word from it because it's legit coming like from him. It's not like it's like a source from a source. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
It's a
legit.
literal director.
It's literally from Zach. So like,
So one thing about the ascended ancient
Yeah.
thing
Who that
that I wanted to address, because some guy commented on the DVD release, they added some deleted scenes of him in the scout ship looking at the suits. And by the way, for those that don't know, that is 100% a Zack Snyder scene. Like there is just
You
no
can-
doubt.
yeah.
The,
You
the,
could easily
the
tell the
music,
difference.
the way it's shot.
Hans Zimmer's original score, man.
Yeah.
yeah, Danny Elfman came to like shout out to Danny Elfman. Pero sorry.
Man.
Yeah, so he passed the black suit and goes to the classic red and blue shortly before Flight 2.0. I kind of like that saying, Flight 2.0. So in your cut, does he go back to the black after looking at the classic suit? And he wrote, "That's right." So maybe that the ascended ancient one was fake, but regardless of the fact, he goes and wears the black
That's
suit.
that's the exact thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like he
Oh,
looks at
I'm thinking right, but he looks. I'm thinking he looks at the black suit, looks at the red and blue, and then goes back to. At least that's the way I interpret it from reading this, because he says he
Could be.
passed the black suit and goes to the classic and red blue, and then so in your cut, does he go back to the black?
after he looks
Right,
at both.
exactly.
Okay.
I think maybe Zach also misinterpreted.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that's right. He wears the black suit. He should have just been like, he wears the fucking black suit.
That's it. Simple.
Just say it, Zach.
And in the cut, but in the BTS shots, you see him wearing the classic suit, even in Snyder's cut. So that means in post, they were gonna desaturate it and just make it black in post, meaning that he was wearing the blue suit the whole entire time, even Henry Cavill. But in post production, he just edited it to make it look black and white.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Exactly,
though.
because lighting and shit like that.
Well-
especially when you desaturate something
Yeah.
like alone. That means he would have had to put a motion cap suit on, and they would have had to mask it with. That's
So
too
Lord
much.
knows what would have happened
Yeah.
with that. But
That's too much.
Can't wait to see the Snyder cut. He wrote, "Thank you." Like, as in, it's coming out.
it will come out. It definitely will. And I don't know if it's gonna be like a release by Zack Snyder, or it'll be like HBO Max, or it'll be like what will it come
We've
out on?
discussed this, and we think that negotiations probably are going along with
Right now, right?
Warner Brothers and Zach, because I think you pointed it out. Kind of how Feige is with Marvel. Obviously, we're not praising Zach to that extent, but I'm guessing Warner Brothers, like we talked about in the car, like they see, like any comment, go on Twitter, go on Warner Brothers Twitter, anything they post,
Release
the thread releases Snyder Cut. They're like, we HBO Max. They're like, oh, this is coming on. They're like, we really don't care. We release a Snyder Cut
because something I believe that there is a positive kind of mob mentality. Hear me out.
Hear me out.
It sounds nuts. But there's a positive sort of like collectiveness, like where people come together and it's just like, yo, we want something. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it's on social media, I'm not like a big social media guy, like whatever, but like if something that is global, you know what I'm saying, accessible, like a Twitter account,
Yeah.
and you have the majority of your comments in support of something that has been teased or something that you prevented from happening.
Right.
You know, the people have spoken, you know, like it's just so unfortunate that it has to come to this. Like,
Yeah.
that we're here.
We couldn't just get it on the first go around.
Exactly.
But like I was telling Eunice, like, it's because it's still a business. It's a company. They're looking for money. So, they released what they released. And the fans, obviously critics and fans both alike, were just like, what the fuck was this?
Exactly.
Like, what was this?
And I'm not a Joss Whedon apologist or anything, but he just came in to finish the work. Like, I don't think like there
Right. I always trash on him,
he
but you're
did
right.
do some. He did do some script treatment where like he did insert some humor, I guess, or attempt to
Barry falling on Diana for some weird reason,
on her tits.
just like he did with Hulk.
Yeah, like
Black
that was
Widow.
corny. Like I don't like humor like that.
I retract my statement 5 seconds ago. Fuck Josh Whedon. Fuck Josh Whedon for that cut.
Oh.
Shots fired. Bro, like, and then just that's, I just, because it pulled up right here, that scene of him with Alfred and him breaking the sound barrier twice, nonetheless. And it's like, I'm assuming you're Alfred. Like, bro, I'm done talking
He's
about
actually
it.
I'm Ozymandias.
I'm done talking about it because I'm just going to get even more tight that, like you said, it has to come to this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, if you go on HBO Max, their like cover screen is
Their
of the
banner
scene-
logo.
Yeah, their banner logo is of Superman flying at the end of Justice League. So it's like, interesting
On
that you
Twitter?
would on their
No,
actual
website.
Yeah. That,
Oh,
like,
on the website.
Right.
Oh, okay. Did they release an app yet? No, right?
No.
Okay. But damn,
The app is surely still in beta or something.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's coming out
I
what May
think the
2020.
DCU app is still in beta too. Actually, no, they're just not ready.
Oh shit.
He didn't even load.
Yeah, he didn't even load. He still has some in the clip. Damn.
But
You just passing the gun around.
yeah, man. Either way, release a Snyder Cut. Henry, I hope eventually you get the okay to support it the way the rest of the cast is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, like you said, you're not really into like social media right now, but Henry's been on a couple interviews and he always says the same thing, like, "Oh, I don't know about a Snyder Cut."
Bullshit.
Right.
Henry. Bullshit, bro. He saw that shit.
You see, no,
No, I don't think he saw it.
I don't think he saw it. I think
But he
he
knows.
acknowledges it. He not acknowledge. He didn't even acknowledge it. I think he knows about it, but like he has too much to lose right now. He doesn't know his future with Superman.
So, let me ask y'all something.
What?
Should it be loyalty over royalty at this point right now? Zach made his dream come true with him. So he previously tried to be Superman twice.
Twice, yeah. Before
And
he-
they
Right. And Zach was like, "Nah, come here. You're my Superman." And then came out with a masterpiece of Man of Steel. And so that's why people are so upset with him, cuz it's like, dude, Zach made like
Championed you.
But yeah, dude, like
you're
he
the
made your dream
flagship of the Snyderverse.
like if he had put that, like if he had put hashtag release Snyder Cut or like made a video or something like that, like it would be 100% inevitable. Like Warner Bros. Will have to release it. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, there you go. But
Yeah.
like I said, loyalty over royalty. Like I get it. He's up and coming right now. Like he has a big series about to come out. Like people are
Yeah, The
hyping up The
Witcher.
Witcher, but at the same time, dude, it's like I don't know. You should have some sort of loyalty to Zach, and I'm sure he does. Not to say, and you could clearly see Zach still supports him no matter what.
Yeah,
Because in that caption of the suit, he goes, "My Superman."
Mm-hmm.
That's still his guy. Like no matter what.
And something as well that a lot of people tend to overlook is how much fun the cast has together. Like you could tell they like really
genuinely
fuck
like
with
each
each
other.
other.
You
Yeah.
saw that MTV Cribs type thing? Ezra Miller made like an MTV Cribs of him going in his lair with Zack Snyder and like just going around, and it was just it was so sick. You see Zack Snyder and Ezra and all the cast just like going along. It was
And
so cool.
that's what I'm saying. Like that same kind of family atmosphere that the Avengers, at least the OG Avengers,
Right.
but even everybody who's come on, Chadwick, Tom,
Family.
Right.
and all that. It's just like
But that's what it is. You
we
know, like
see that here, but unfortunately, like we just
it's studio interference. Yeah. But it's like
nasty hands.
Zach showed Jason Momoa the Snyder Cut. Like literally gave him like, here, watch it. And he even said it in the MTV News interview he did. He was like, I'm indebted to Zack Snyder. I'm indebted to Warner Brothers because they helped him become Aquaman. Like that, like even though Aquaman wasn't directed by Zack, like Zack was like, "You're my
He
Aquaman."
shadow produced that shit, bro. There was some shots of Aquaman.
No,
I'm like,
no.
Zachary.
His team was behind it.
Yeah.
Like and
Zachary.
his team is gonna be behind the Batman movie as well, producing.
Damn.
That's gonna happen.
Oh, speaking of which, I heard something that Chris Terrio, right? He was what, one of the producers, Or
writers as well.
He apparently is gonna like talk about the whole Snyder Cut in January because I think he has something coming out now and he doesn't want to interfere with that. But he said
He's
after
on a
release,
press run.
I'm not exactly sure. We could look more into that
I'm
later.
iffy on Chris Terrio.
Oscar winning, but
But all I'm saying is he's gonna have a lot to say about Zach's cut.
I like David S. Goyer's part of Batman v Superman more than I like Chris Terrio's part. And
Understandable.
If you want a distinction, all the like inter-character dialogue and stuff, David S. Goyer. All the action stuff,
So like Alfred and
Chris
Bruce
Terrio.
talking, like
David S. Goyer.
he is not your enemy.
David S.
Krypton.
Goyer.
this TV show, David S. Goyer.
Yep.
Ooh, I want to watch season 2, but
And the thing and like
it's over. So
and the thing and like Chris Terrio again, you said Oscar winning. Shout out to him, cool.
Right.
But he just has a lot of nasty shit under his belt, bro. Like all the Transformers stuff is Chris Terrio.
I forgot. Oh snap!
yeah.
he said, "Wait, track record."
Yeah. Like and the thing is like again, like a lot of what we saw in BVS was like again, like it's like David S. Goyer exited and was just like, look, like I guess the script wasn't finished all the way, so like every like a lot of like the teaser stuff and all that we saw. Chris, like it's Chris.
Chris. Well, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Always, I will always praise that till the day I die. And now we can get to talking about
Crisis on
Crisis on
Infinite.
Infinite Earths.
Perfect.
Perfect. Man, shout out the CW. What do you call it again?
For real. No. I'm gonna start with love. With
Alright.
love. We do a nice round of applause for CW. I'm also giving him another
All right.
because
Okay.
you know I have to commend and give credit where it's due. This is unheard of. This is unprecedented. Marvel isn't doing this with their stuff.
Like for
Like-
television.
Like for television wise, TV wise.
Obviously.
TV wise. MCU isn't doing this, and like it is probably the smartest way to canonize everything that's come out, and even everything that you could deem as like, oh, why did that come out? Like, for example, again, I'm not heavily invested into this, but let's say the Joel Schumacher Batmans, like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, if
Right.
that's canon too, lit, because we all know that the regular Batman from 1989 is canon now
Yep.
into it, but that's
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton's, but that's fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like that. I like how there's a connective tissue to everything through a logical
Right.
like
And
link.
it's so simple. It's
Yeah.
like a multiverse.
A multiverse.
'Cause- And it's like, I know like people can be like, oh, it's just the easy way out. It's like, no, like this is in the comics.
It's-
Like
yeah, exactly.
They build storylines
Exactly.
around a whole multiverse.
Exactly, and on top of that, it's not easy to do. I'm sure like this was in development for a while and all that. I just commend it for being done, even though it's cosplay world.
It. he said it. Yeah, he said it. Are you gonna? Oh, I thought you were gonna reload. But no, basically that's how it starts off. The Monitor is explaining how the multiverse works.
For all the people that like don't like fully understand or like have that concept in mind of the multiverse. I think that was a very good way of starting off the
Right.
cross.
So
Nice
is
and
the
simple.
so LaMonica Garrett is playing the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
playing both. So
Right.
so yin and yang. So I'm
Right.
assuming that he is like the Watcher of DC. Is it safe to assume that?
I
Oh,
would
in like this Arrowverse,
In the like in the CW verse.
they haven't really gone to that extent.
Yes.
So to give you some context, this started from last year's crossover.
Okay. With the Legends and all that, with, like Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow.
you could
and-
even say it started when Flash started, the first ever episode, because you
That's
see that
true, too.
newspaper.
Low key, I think that's when they started getting the idea.
Yeah,
Like,
for
let's
sure.
start making this a connective tissue. Because it definitely
Okay.
didn't start with Arrow. When they just made Arrow, there's like, we're just gonna do a show about, Green Arrow.
Yeah.
They never visualized it getting to this extent.
Right, and
That's
then
crazy.
they got green lighted for a Flash. I remember it was weird with the Flash. They came out, they dropped an episode, and then they just dropped that first episode, and they didn't do anything for like a whole year. Or Flash, or not a
No.
whole year, but it was like they dropped it. You know what I think it was? I think it was just to show the fans and to see how they would react.
Well, yeah,
to
it was a pilot, but I don't
No.
know. I don't know
What
if
do you
they
mean?
waited
But
that
so-
long.
Crossover with
So it didn't. It no. Oh no! I remember when they crossed over when he went over to to
Arrow,
help Arrow.
yeah.
Yeah, but I swear to you, they dropped it, but they didn't drop within like the next few weeks. It was a couple of months, and they showed it again. They showed episode 1 again, but this is when the series was like dropping
Fully
every Tuesday or whenever the day. Yeah, I think Flash has always been Tuesday, right?
It's always
it
been
never
Tuesday,
changed.
yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that. Ask around. I guarantee.
I don't
it.
know why I don't fully. I just remember getting hype because I didn't watch. I watched Arrow when it first came out, like back in 2012. But then I stopped for a little bit because I didn't know much about Green Arrow, and then Barry Allen was coming in, and then that's when I watched it. And then the pilot came out, and then right before the pilot dropped, Ezra Miller was cast as the Flash in the movies.
Oh wow,
Literally weeks,
that's
like
crazy.
Stepped on.
literally
So-
a week before. So like it messed with people's head. They're like, wait, Ezra Miller, Grant Gustin, what's happening? I guess maybe
Because
that's
I remember
Multiverse.
that's where they got the idea. That's what in a couple of years we'll do a multiverse.
exactly.
That's where they got it from. But because typically with stuff like that, that's why especially with Superman and Batman, and with Green Arrow with the Suicide Squad when he had his Suicide Squad. Like
That was-
one of the next seasons coming out was going to be solely focused on Suicide Squad, and then the movie was going to drop. So they were like, "Oh, let's just kill off the Suicide
They
Squad in
no,
Arrow
like
now."
I think one of the heads at WB literally confirmed that. That was perfect. Like they confirmed that they did Suicide Squad on Arrow to test the waters for the movie.
Right.
So like they're literally using Arrow as like this scapegoat type thing.
CW's the scapegoat. Like,
Yeah.
how do the
What
fans
is-
react to
so
this?
so wait. You said on Arrow. You said Arrow.
They literally
So,
said we tested it out.
what
on
season
Arrow.
was that?
They had,
Two.
I think,
So
they had
season two-
Deadshot. Like they had a
Okay, see,
They brung in Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was in Arrow, and they deleted the scene.
yeah, I watched Arrow up to season 4, episode 3. I know that for exact because that's when
You stopped at a good time, buddy.
yeah,
exactly
season 4 was garbage.
because as soon as that Damien Dark shit started, I was like,
Yeah.
hey, got shit to do. See ya.
Stephen Amell doesn't even acknowledge season 4.
That was just so dumb. You know what? We're not even gonna.
Yeah,
that's a
That's
whole
not-
nother
this is
podcast.
Oh,
a crisis
but
on
okay.
Infinite Earth
So
podcast.
we start off. We get Earth 89 Gotham City. Michael Keaton theme song. On the newspaper, it was the Gotham City Gazette,
yeah,
and it said Batman captures Joker. And it's like, but it was weird though because they showed like it wasn't his bat signal.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think maybe it was
he
like
gets a new one or something.
I don't know if it was his. Maybe it was like a Batwoman.
That
look-
was
look-
Batwoman's.
Right.
That was
okay.
Batwoman's logo.
So then the guy with the newspaper looks over. He's like, "I hope you're watching, big guy." Like to Batman, like Michael Keaton's Batman.
So what is the main universe then? In
Earth
this?
1.
Earth 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so Earth 1.
And so
Earth 2 is when everything's reversed.
Earth, no.
It's just
It's just. a
Where is the
different Earth.
which is the Earth that Flash is Arrow, Arrow's Flash?
That's not. That wasn't an
so
Earth.
that was for last year's crossover.
That was last year's crossover where
That's how it started.
right now there's a book called the Book of Destiny where everybody is destined to do something. Everybody has a role. So this guy, what's it called? Psycho Pirate. No, not Psycho Pirate. What was his
Yeah, I
name?
think that's
No,
it.
it wasn't Psycho Pirate. Shit, I forgot his name.
It's
Well,
cool, bro.
well,
You're
yeah.
not cursed with knowledge. That's fine.
He has the book, and then he basically just rewrites Destiny. He puts Flash becomes Arrow instead of Like he puts Barry Allen to
Yeah,
become Green
this
Arrow.
book, it's in this crossover too.
Yeah,
The Book of Destiny, like he changed things up.
he just changes things up.
So basically,
Isn't that sort of plot hole-ish because he could just write Anti-Monitor?
It's
go
not.
the
You
fuck
see,
home?
the more you write it, the more like
you need energy to harness,
addicted.
like
Like,
yeah, and
Iris
it can
and
kill you.
Lois. Supergirl wants to use the Book of Destiny to bring back all the Earths, but if she were to do that, she would like get. I don't know. I wouldn't say addicted.
So literally, Lex said it could like you can have a mental breakdown, like you can just
it's too
fry
powerful.
your brain, right? It's too powerful.
Holy
Like you can
shit.
only
Yeah.
your mind can only do a certain amount of things, or else,
Writing on it.
Yeah,
right,
Oh, that's a really cool concept.
right, because then it's like you don't just have the power to do everything you want.
Exactly. Yeah. It
Like,
comes.
you need to harness
Same
it.
thing with the Infinity Stones. You use it once, and it
comes
Right,
with a
it's
price.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
I tried to bring
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
Widow back. I could physically couldn't do it.
All
But
right.
okay,
That's
so
lit. That's cool.
we
Shout out
get-
to CW.
we get a Earth 9. We go to Earth 9 San Francisco Titans cameo. The Titans
That's
were
lit.
on Arrowverse. It showed Jason Todd and it showed Hawk, and they were just like, I don't know. I guess they were beating someone up. And
that
they-
was actually a scene from the season 1 finale, deleted. The season 1 finale that was
Oh.
never that
Oh,
never
right.
Look at this insight, bro. You're never gonna get this anywhere else.
happened. Yes, sir.
We go to Earth 66, Gotham City, because why? Robin from the Adam West series.
Burt Ward.
Yeah.
was so sick.
Earth 66 because it came out in 1966.
That's fire.
Yeah. We get.
Wait, but what's he doing in that? He's just walking his dog.
Yeah, it was just small cameos, like
Oh, okay.
literally 30-second cameos for like all of them. It was just showing you the multiverse and
Alright.
giving the fans a very very nice fan service. So then we go to Argo. So Argo is currently where the Kryptonians are, like the remaining Kryptonians.
And Argo is a planet. Is it a?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Earth. And so Superman went there with Lois, and they just had a baby John Kent, Superboy.
Baby John.
And they literally recreate the Superman origin because a wave of antimatter is coming, and they're like, "All right, baby John, we're gonna send you off the way Superman got sent off to Earth."
So then Argo is the Krypton of that universe.
It's just a new Krypton. Like, that's
For the
where-
remaining
Okay,
survivors.
so in that universe, Krypton was actually able to continue on.
no. This is wow.
I
No, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying
yeah.
to say. No, like there were remaining Kryptonians that were able to make it off. It wasn't just Superman and Supergirl on that Earth. So they basically just took them and then they went to this planet where Superman doesn't have any powers on Argo because
None
the
of
sun.
them, they don't have their powers.
They don't
yet.
have
So
no
it's just
powers.
regular.
people.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
why. That's
shit.
why he went to
it
raise
was,
his baby.
But it was
there.
a place where they can live peacefully up until the antimatter wave wiped them out of existence.
Basically, yeah.
Holy shit!
So baby John lands on Earth.
He gets wiped
Earth
off.
16, but it's a alternate world where it's 2046. So
It's like it time warped into the future.
yeah,
Like when
Okay.
he went into the what is it? What was he in? Like the pod?
The
like
pod,
yeah.
he went in and like he went off the coast of like basically reality and then went to Earth 16. It was supposed to go straight to Earth, but it went to Earth 16. 'cause
So
it
it's
got
supposed to
wiped
go to Earth 1.
well they
Just
just
their
Oh,
Earth,
just,
just their Earth.
whatever Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, in that
They're just
universe.
like, yo,
Yeah.
get this shit out of here.
off. Yeah, basically, just get
Get
it
that
out
shit
of
off
here.
Argo.
Yeah.
So it got wiped. So at the time I'm like, oh damn, like I knew Superboy didn't get wiped out just because I'm like he's been in all the trailers and stuff. So I'm like,
Exactly,
one
yeah.
way or another he got out,
Mhm.
and he did. So basically, who's choreographing all this right now is Harbinger, aka Lila, aka John Diggle's wife. who-
Lila Michaels, who in the comics is literally Harbinger and has this huge pivotal role
Right.
in Crisis on
So
Earth.
Harbinger is the Watcher.
What is with your obsession with the watch?
I'm just trying to.
I wouldn't.
I'm
I
just trying to
wouldn't
find
call
an
it the
understanding.
Watcher.
All right,
Like
because I'm just trying to find understanding of all the at least the.
Trying to put the pieces together.
Just trying to put the pieces because the thing is that all right, you have the monitor, the anti-monitor,
Right.
and now you have the Book of Destiny, and now the
So
Harbinger.
this is
That's
how
a
I'm gonna
lot
explain
of
it to
shit
you.
coming in
This is
together.
how I'm gonna explain it to you.
Yeah.
Last year's crossover, right? Monitor shows up. Right. Okay. We can say he's the Watcher.
Yeah,
For,
yeah,
for
yeah.
your for your sake.
Yeah, please, because
The
I'm trying to
Monitor is
follow
the-
along.
So he, Oliver. So last year's crossover, the Flash and Supergirl were supposed to die in that crisis. It was like a smaller crisis.
Okay.
yeah.
And Oliver went up to him and was like, "Nah, that's BS. Like they're good people. Like I'll sacrifice myself because like I've
Oliver,
done
a piece of shit.
right. Like I've done a lot of bad. Like these are genuine good people and better heroes than I am. So Monitor's like, I bet.
I'll clap you.
All
Then.
right, right. So it comes at a price. So obviously we don't find that out until basically now. So this whole season on the Flash, everyone's still thinking he's gonna die because of the newspaper. You know, Flash vanishes in Crisis, and it was supposed to be in what 2024 originally, and it got reset obviously 2019. So
because
this
Crisis was supposed to happen in 2024 originally, but CW doesn't think that all the shows are gonna last to 2024, so they bring it back to.
so they was like, yo, let's use this in our storyline.
Oh shit!
And with
that's
the Flash, you can fuck
smart,
up timelines.
Yeah,
So, right.
That's smart.
You can literally do whatever because he's a speedster.
Because it's not a liability. It's like, look, we did it, but you know, if this don't last long,
Exactly.
All
So
right.
it you know, smart, very smart.
Yeah,
move.
okay.
So okay, Flash vanishes in Crisis. So it's separate, right? So Flash thinks he's gonna go missing. Everyone thinks he's gonna die. So they have like send off goodbyes. Like it's some real sad scenes because it's like, damn, like I'm gonna die. There's nothing.
I'm about to get clapped.
Right. And same thing on Arrow, like because Oliver knows he sacrificed himself. The Monitor knows. So basically, this season of Arrow, the Monitor has just been doing things like to all the heroes, like when Supergirl too, like with Martian Manhunter, he's been testing them so they can all be ready for this crisis. So point blank, all right, we get back
keep
to
going.
this one, and you know that's where Barry and Oliver finally tell each other like, Flash is like, yeah, I'm gonna go missing, and Oliver was like, wait, what? So then he goes, nah, he literally goes, yo, we need to talk. And then,
like in the middle of a conversation, he's like, "Yo, we need to talk." And Barry's like, "What?"
And then he goes in to talk to the Monitor, and he was like, "Yo, what's up? Didn't we have a deal?" He was like, last year we did. Like this is a whole new year,
a whole
my guy.
new different year.
Any of y'all can die.
Like I saved him last year. I'm not saving him again this year.
Oh,
so basically,
shit.
why I think the writers made it that way was just because so we know as fans, like, oh, maybe anything can go now.
That's good. That's because then you kind of level the
guess-
playing field there. It's just like, all right,
Right.
anybody could get it.
Because although we still think, obviously since Arrow is ending, Oliver's either gonna, well, spoiler alert, Oliver has already died.
Really? Like in
I'll
episode
get into
one?
it. Yeah,
Episode one.
Yeah, because I saw a screenshot of him like with a bloody face and stuff. I'm like, I guess he's hurt. Like, I hope he's good.
That's what everybody thought, but like
Right.
he fully died in that scene.
All right.
So we'll continue breaking it down.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about his daughter, Mia Queen? So Oliver has a daughter.
With who?
So okay,
Felicity.
More context. At the end of last season on Arrow, like basically kind of they save the city again, and then him and Felicity's pregnant, so they're like, okay, he's kind of like, I'm done, like for a little bit with
Hanging it up.
right, but like not in any poor like ways, just that I got a kid now, like I want to take care of my family.
Exactly.
So they move out into like a cottage in the woods, and they're just living their life. And literally the last scene was
Monitor's like,
Monitor approaching him like, it's time.
like, you remember that deal we made?
Yeah.
Go say bye to your wife and kids. We
Right.
out.
Exactly. And Mia was just a baby. But also what they did last season on Arrow, which I really liked, was instead of doing flashbacks, because they were all caught up with the flashbacks, they did fast forwards. Yeah,
Oh,
flash forwards.
See the
shit.
future.
So you see the future, like
All
we're in
right.
2046, right?
2046, yeah.
And, his daughter's all grown up, his son is all grown up. And, obviously they grew up without a father because he died in Crisis.
Exactly.
But they never like fully mentioned that. Like they always glanced over his father because they don't want you to know what happened to him
Right,
exactly.
because Crisis hasn't happened yet. So then, obviously, the Monitor, moves pieces around, and Oliver meets his kids in the future, and they get to meet him because they never really grew up with him.
That must have been a really cool moment, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was really.
But how do you feel about his daughter?
She's not my favorite character in the world. I mean, like, I guess you could say she's very like Oliver because she's very stubborn, very like angry all the time because she was never raised without a father. She had a
Is
horrible
the
childhood.
actress good at least? No.
Catherine, do you know it's Catherine McNamara? Do you ever seen Shadowhunters? I think the show was called. I heard it got canceled because of the acting. That's what I heard.
Uh-oh.
So like, I don't think she's horrible, but I think sometimes the writing makes her
Right, we got to take that in consideration. Sometimes the writer makes her exaggerate more than she really
a
should.
lot more. Yeah.
And it's just
Now, I can rebuttal that. You know why? Because you have really good actors that get shitty ass scripts and they make it work somehow.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, well, Oliver gives her a bow and arrow because they're having a Canary spin-off series on the CW.
No, it's called Green Arrow and the Black Canaries.
and I'm assuming she's gonna be Green Arrow.
It's gonna be Dinah Drake, Laurel Lance from Earth 2,
Uh-huh.
and Mia Smoke.
So Laurel is still alive.
No,
Earth 2.
Earth 2 Laurel.
Multiverse.
They always find a way to bring Laurel back. She was so annoying. In this,
you didn't like it?
I didn't like any of them. Yo, listen. Yo, Oliver is a grimy ass dude, bro. He's a nasty man, bro. How you fuck your girl's sister? And then your girl's
Season
sister
1,
gets
man.
clapped.
Bro, that shit is fire. That shit is fire. Nah, but they had a scene. I'll get to it.
Yeah,
they had a scene that kind of like mentioned that. But okay.
He's nasty for that though.
So Harbinger,
Yeah.
aka Lila, aka John Diggles, aka Green Lanterns. Yeah, boy, how you feel about that?
Green
Nah.
Lanterns,
Nah.
what?
Hold on.
You're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but
Green Lantern
yeah, son.
in this?
So, yo, just hold on.
Oh,
So, right, Harbinger brings them all to Earth 38. Earth 38 is Supergirl's Earth. So, brings it all there because that's where shit's about to pop off. So, they're like, yo, we got to defend this.
So what are they defending from?
An antimatter wave.
Like the antimatter is what wipes the Earths off. Like
Yeah.
that's how the Earths are destroyed.
Okay,
like,
but what causes
this.
the antimatter?
Antimatter is just like, all right, go get that Earth. Go get it.
Oh, so is the anti-monitor doing that?
yes.
Yeah, it's antimatter.
This
So
is what
he's
the
like
crisis is about.
Galactus.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right, I get it. I get it. Now.
Galactus is like him.
Antimatter and Monitor are brothers as well. They're brothers.
So
He always mentions how he always mentions like how my brother is coming. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like
So
hurry
why
up.
is his brother such a dick
we're gonna get an origin story in the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to get into it.
of the anti-monitor? He's an ugly motherfucker, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to Monica Garrett for taking the L and putting that makeup on. Because
He's a good looking.
He actually has a video on
Ripped
his
as hell.
Instagram.
I'm like, so why is Apocalypse? Oh, that's not Apocalypse.
Apocalypse from X-Men. But yeah, so they gather there. She explains everything, you know, what's going down. Batwoman smacks her across the face, Harbinger.
Cause she pulls everybody out from a moment. Like in the moment, Batwoman
Of
is
their
about
own
to
shows,
stop a
yeah.
criminal, and she's like, "All right, you're coming with me," and she just like takes him
But
away.
how do they get pulled in? Is it like a hand? Is it just like a force? Like
it's
just,
like they're
Harbinger.
teleported.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
Harbinger,
Harbinger
okay.
shows up.
All right.
A Monitor basically gives Harbinger has powers where like she can just go to anywhere that she wants,
Right.
and then
She could breach.
she
Right.
basically
So, right, then we get that scene of Monitor explaining to Oliver, you know, sacrifice yourself last year, not this year, whole different ball game. So, they're fighting shadow demons. How'd you think of the shadow demons? They were dope? Or...
they were pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the newspaper it mentions that Reverse Flash leads them.
Right. I
So
think we're going to
Thawne
see him
is still
soon.
a thing.
We're going to see him soon. You know why? Did you hear the voices in Lila's head?
Was it
we're
him?
gonna get to that, but yeah, it sounded like
Did it?
What's his name? Tom Cavanaugh's voice. So it could
Or
be,
maybe it could have been Pariah.
it could have been.
Wait, but how come all these like I understand that the Reverse Flash is like a prominent Flash villain.
right.
But so Zoom is just a dub? Like he just
Well, yeah, he's a dub now.
Well,
was
he
a
is
season-
Black Flash.
Right.
he's still
he
Black
he turned
Flash.
into basically.
Did you not know about that?
No, because Black Flash is the one with the skull face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
he's like basically the Speed Force uses him to hunt down speedsters that are using their powers wrong, like in
Yeah.
a wrong way. So like
Shit is dope.
So
So, he
he's
he
like-
pops up every now and then.
So he's like
he
a
chased
bounty hunter
Eobard.
for the Speed Force.
He's
Right,
literally a
yeah,
bounty
that's
hunter.
exactly what it
Like
is.
he chased Eobard in the episode of Legends of Tomorrow. Eobard was like using using the powers, and like he just wasn't using them the correct way. And then Black Flash went to him, and then you just see Eobard standing still because if he can't send Speed Force in you, he won't do anything to you. So
Yeah.
it's Eobard not using his powers and just him scared as fuck, and he's just
So
like this.
right, but he's not blind or anything, right?
He just well,
He's not human.
He's not.
Like, he's
human.
not. He's not a
He
person
just sends
anymore.
the Speed Force.
So-
if you run away from him, you're not running away from him.
That's fucking sick because
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
dope.
like my understanding, because I remember I seen a picture of Zoom and Black Flash, and I'm like, oh, that's basically just Zoom with a melted face.
That's what it is.
And I
It-
love
It's like
how-
the
Zoom-
Speed Force just consumed his ass. and
Right.
This was what no, I remember it was in season 2 when Flash like ripped the mask off of him, and then like it was just coincidentally that exact look from the comic books, and I like how
Yeah,
they did it.
it
and
was
the
dope.
Speed
I
Force
seen
stuff.
I seen a picture of him. I'm like, that's cool. And I don't know. Zoom gets like I feel like he got no love, especially like since he's one of our admins. Like I wish they had more footage of him.
I get what you mean. No,
Yeah.
but like he gets a
He
lot.
was
Of,
a
no,
dope- he was, like, Bro, I always
Teddy
say
Sears, man.
seasons 1 and 2 of Arrow and seasons 1 and 2 of Flash are like untouchable so far.
I really
They're
like
really
yeah,
good seasons.
like aside.
In terms of like storytelling, like they kept you interested. Like they kept you like.
That's why I kept
shit.
watching because it was like
Yeah,
you know
and
it was
then-
like primetime TV drama. It was like ooh.
And then
Yeah,
like I still I still love it. Obviously, I still watch it, but you could tell like some of the
It's
stories.
gotten a
just,
little
like, it's like yo, you
slowed
can.
down.
It's gotten more dramatized where they had actual like comic like plots and real good, but it's alright.
Yeah, like Arrow got Arrow got whacked for me when he stopped killing people.
That was dope.
And it's crazy because you stopped at season 4 when season 5 was its redemption arc.
Yeah, season 5 was dope. Season 5 was dope. But so we get the monitor towers, which are straight out of
Yeah.
the straight
Straight
literally
out
the
of the
design
comic
they did was straight out of the comic books.
And like
the-
everybody thinks it's a threat because it's just a big ass
it just
fucking
popped up and everybody was
building.
like,
What is that?
Wait, where did it pop up?
In the
just in the
middle
middle
of
of the
Earth.
city. Yeah,
Middle
middle
of
Earth.
the-
Yeah.
So fuck whatever building was there.
Literally, fuck whatever
You
building.
know,
was
architects are sick. They're like, yo, what the fuck?
But yeah, we just built this shit. Like, damn.
there. And then Arrow was like, "That's a threat. Let's go stop." And then Flash, it comes with Superman and Superhero. He's like, "No, it's not a threat. This is our it's a part. It's with us." And
Yeah.
then it's
So yeah, right
Now,
now
which Superman?
Tyler
Oh.
Hoechlin.
Tyler Heck. Okay,
Yeah.
so the new one that got cast.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
who's also getting his own show with Lois on the CW.
Superman's getting his own show.
Space.
Superman's getting his own show, but
Oh, that's cool, I guess. Yeah.
and
And Superboy is gonna be in it. And I heard a rumor Damian Wayne might be in it.
John Kent and Damian Wayne are currently being casted for it. So if they have Damian Wayne, what do you think they're gonna have in that show?
Ra's al Ghul and Batman. Or
I mean,
Talia,
it's
I
gonna be
guess.
more of a Superman show, but that I do think we will see
Yeah, definitely.
Bruce. I
But
think
which
so.
Bruce?
Not Kevin Conroy's Bruce. We'll get into
Remember,
that.
at Crisis, the main point of Crisis was to merge every single Earth
Mm-hmm.
that there was. So maybe now, at the end of Crisis,
We'll
when
get
if
one
things
big-
work out, we're just gonna get one big Earth.
Like no
Prime
multiverse.
Earth.
That'll be
No more multiverse.
Wait, so that's the end goal, you think?
that was always the end goal. Like I do
Like,
feel
for
like
the CW.
yeah, I do feel like they made Supergirl and Superman on a different Earth
On
because
purpose, just to bring them together.
Mhm.
And I think that actually makes sense story-wise because now you have everybody who got maybe introduced to all these characters in Crisis. Wow, I like this marketing because if you got introduced to, if you fuck with Batwoman, you're like, oh, I kind of like her interaction with Supergirl.
which
It's
is
all connected.
really funny that you mentioned it without even watching it because they're like besties.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
and like they do get some beef like similar to Batman. and
Obviously,
Superman.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's cool. Shout out to Ruby Rose.
yeah,
she's
that's
cool.
a
She's
that's a
cool.
big time name. Like on
She's
the CW.
really cool. A lot of people hate on her. I don't know. I
Is
love
that a
her.
wig in her helmet?
It's even in the comic books. It's a wig.
Yeah.
She wears it as a disguise, so nobody know. Like who the hell
Yeah.
has red hair that often, that
Right.
bright?
I
So
allow it.
yeah,
allow-
It's fine. It's
But
fine.
so yeah, they're fighting these shadow demons. They're protecting the Earth. They create that device with Lena Luthor.
yeah.
They like to
Lex
get,
Luthor had a daughter.
Lex Luthor's sister.
No, it's his sister.
Oh, his sister.
She's in the
okay.
comics
She's
too.
in the
All
comics.
right, okay.
She's a villain in the comics, and right now she is not a villain in the show. But they're starting to give her that arc, and I'm kind of like, it's a little too late for that.
But I hope they're not turning it into her into the mustache twirling like, oh, I'm gonna take over.
Nah, like if you watch the show, you'll see her intentions, but like you'll also disagree that like you're just like, all right, come on, like I see,
over
I
it.
see, right, I see why you're tight, but yeah, exactly,
She's
get over
tight
it.
because
She's a baby.
Like no, Supergirl and Kara and her are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Kara never told her that she was Supergirl,
After all these seasons, all these years,
and like she
and
looked up
gets
to
tight at that.
Supergirl,
Yeah.
and she never found out that her best friend was Supergirl.
Oh, she never noticed that like the Supergirl and her
She
best
never
friend looked
noticed
the same.
that. She never
Yeah.
saw Kara
No,
without
what
glasses.
you mean, bro? You know what the glasses do, right? People get
Like
me
the
tight when
meme
they
of
say
Loki.
that.
I've never seen this man in my life.
Bro,
The
Henry
glasses
Cavill
are
went to
supposed to
Times
disguise.
Square and nobody recognized him.
That's
with
very
the Superman, with a Superman shirt on.
and,
In the
and with the
time of
glasses on,
BVS.
right? Did he have the-
BVS was all over Times Square. Nobody recognized him.
isn't that crazy
Bro,
how
'cause
the
you're not
public?
you're not really looking
Exactly.
out for these people.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. The general public is generally dumb.
Damn.
Generally dumb.
Yeah, because
public,
come on,
generally dumb.
Emilia Clarke was just as Jon Snow going around talking to people. in
Right.
Times
If
Square.
you're a big Game of Thrones fan, like you'll know who that is.
know what I'm saying?
Like
But-
especially from like them talking and stuff. I get it. But all right, cool. So you know, we get a scene with Oliver in 2046, you know, because that's where Baby John Kent lands.
when the pod.
So Brainiac, they call him Brainy on the show, but it's a different version. So
Brainiac
he's a
5.
good guy.
Like,
Yeah.
Brainiac 5 is a good
Is-
Brainy.
Brainiac is one of my like.
Yeah.
That's my
top
fucking
tier.
guy. Like, I love Brainiac. I don't know shit about him. I just know that when I was like 7, I had a Superman quilt. This is breaking news. I had a Superman quilt. It was just a pattern of Superman and Brainiac fighting, and you see all Brainiac's tentacles on him. I thought that shit was so fire.
Yeah, Brainiac.
If you ever watch Krypton, Brainiac is the villain. It is one of my favorite TV shows ever.
I actually like his character design on that.
yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah,
The
it's really
CGI is okay. It's okay.
good. Yeah, it's a sci-fi show.
It was on Sci-Fi, yeah. So
I
didn't they
think
make
you'd enjoy it.
Sharknado?
All right, I'm done with that.
I have no idea.
Like 82 on Rotten Tomatoes, my ass.
It has an 82 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly, but just all of the soundboard systems. in
Everything.
one.
Just play everything.
Shazam! You heard that? Shazam!
So
But no,
all
it's-
this shit is happening in episode 1.
Right.
Episode
This is only
one.
episode 1, dude. Like
That's a lot.
So this is like because a lot of people have like complained. At least the complaints I've heard have been that they're kind of like all over the place and they're kind of giving like side characters like bigger roles. And I'm like, but
Fam,
dude,
this
like,
is a crossover event. You got
Right.
everybody gets involved. Everybody
Everyone
gets
gotta-
playing
and,
time.
like, here's the thing, because especially like someone like Martian Manhunter, bro, like obviously because it's not his show, it's Supergirl's show, like they nerf him like
Of course,
completely,
He also
which is
looks terrible.
understandable.
You seen that CGI shot?
He looks awful, dude.
He looks good in some scenes, but
Yeah,
a
some
lot
scenes,
of the
yeah.
scenes.
But that's why they don't use him a lot as
Exactly,
Martian Manhunter
exactly.
because you know it's money.
He's really expensive
Yeah.
for
Very.
$40.
But I'm dead. But all right, so you gotta go. You're not even gonna use the soundboard, right? Just do it
Yeah,
yourself.
just saying myself.
So, like I was saying, now in this crossover, like they're giving him some shine because hey, it's Martian fucking Manhunter.
Exactly.
He's one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe.
He is like he could. I think he could
Like-
watch the majority of people on the Justice League,
Yeah.
yeah,
except Batman.
facts because Batman got a contingency plan. for him.
Exactly.
Nah, but so okay, they pick up Baby John Kent.
All right.
So it's Brainy, Lois, and Sarah.
Okay.
And then going back to that moment where we were talking about, you know, how Oliver, took her on the boat, and they kind of talked about that. They're like, hey, like if you never brought me on that boat, we wouldn't be where we are today, because that's what started it all. The whole universe was started with Oliver bringing her on that boat, and if they didn't never went on the Queen's Gambit, he would have never became Arrow. She would have never became White Canary.
So you're telling me?
Yeah, you could take your girl.
No, no.
And you could eventually become a superhero.
No, I'm just saying. So I thought that. So basically, they kind of retconned the first pilot episode of Arrow in a sense,
What do you mean?
like in terms of like that it's all meant something
Why?
because because of the conversation that they had.
Oh no, it's just saying like Oliver, because basically that Oliver's very distraught. He's lost everything.
He has one arm, like
Right.
Oh, like in the comics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like
So-
Dark
but-
Knight Returns when he has one arm. When Batman
exactly.
and Superman are fighting.
So that this Oliver
blind.
is very like depressed. Like he's like, I'm not a good man. And then she's kind of telling him, she's like, because he basically brought that up. He's like, yo, like I brought you, like I cheated on Laura,
I'm
like I
a
did all this.
nasty dude. man.
I'm a
So, but she's like, and then she's kind of just explaining to him. She's like, look, if that never happened, you would have never. And then she kind of explains her out, like Oliver on her Earth, like how he turned out.
it's like
Yeah.
you have kids, you have a
Right.
wife, you're doing good for yourself.
So, so it gives him a sense of peace that at least on some like, and she literally said, she's like, you're a good man on all Earths. And it was funny because you had posted something yesterday. He's like, because they did a crossover like 2 years ago
All right.
of like Nazi, like Green Arrow, Nazi Flash, like all this stuff. He's like, really? He's a good man on all Earths.
All Earth's
I
problematic.
don't think it was Earth X.
It was Earth X.
Who said that? Laurel or
Sarah.
No, Sarah was
Sarah,
telling.
Sarah's nasty for saying that. What's wrong with you, Sarah? What the fuck?
In the caption, I put very fine people.
Very fine people. That's meta as fuck. God damn.
The Nazis were some very fine
There
people.
were very fine people on both sides. But that's so crazy to me because that's a mature ass conversation.
Yeah.
And also very unrealistic. Because if there were two Latinas, they would have scrapped, bro. Arrow would have been dead, bro.
But nonetheless, it was just a moment of kind of,
Peace.
Closure,
Yeah,
closure. Yeah,
closure,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
All right.
For both, like for that Oliver, who we were introduced to in a previous season of Legends.
Yeah.
So we met him already.
All right.
So it's kind of just to give him peace.
They
and
met
then-
him like they thought that they were going to the future.
Yeah.
Turns out it wasn't just the future; it was a whole different Earth.
Okay.
That's
Right.
and we just figured that out.
So, but
So
then that Earth gets wiped clean.
oh,
They leave
shit.
just
What
in
Earth
time.
was that?
16.
Yeah, Earth 16.
All right.
So RIP Earth 16. So at this point, bro, like Earths are just getting knocked out.
So they're getting all right. So
Earth
now,
38 is next, and this is the Earth they're on trying to protect.
So episode 1 in a nutshell is basically everybody coming together, everybody getting snatched up by the Harbinger and all that.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone.
Not
Like,
everyone,
We
okay.
we still have a majority of people who weren't
Still, the
introduced yet.
Legends people haven't been snatched yet at that point, right?
So Legends. So it was funny. They mentioned this a couple of times because the Legends weren't in the last crossover. It was only Sarah Lance and was Ray Palmer in the last one?
No.
It was just Sarah, right?
Ray Palmer's
Sarah
a bitch.
wasn't in it. I saw-
It was also no Legends were in
No
the last.
Legends
Oh
were in
wow. So all right, they did them dirt. But she
Oh,
makes
good. Ray
so,
Palmer's a bitch.
Whoa.
I never liked him when he pulled up and tried to like.
TYB Oliver.
Come on, fam.
I get what you mean.
It worked. You see,
It
It
worked.
did
you
work,
see
but
who Brandon Routh
he
is.
is so buns, bro. Like, oh god.
I think you were just having Superman Returns PTSD.
No, not even that. Superman Returns. I treat it like I treat Justice League and Shazam. Like I
Really?
don't even think about it. You know why?
Oh, but
Because
yeah, by the way, he didn't like Shazam.
I'm so sorry. No, but
Nah,
like
respect it.
no, like but Brandon Ruth, that
Ralph.
Ralph
It's Ralph,
Brandon
right?
Routh.
Brandon is
Brandon. First
Nah.
name basis. He'll show up on the podcast eventually. So.
dub. Sorry,
Really?
Like, that Superman Returns was awful. It was really bad.
Interesting.
I don't care that Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor. Like that, like it was a waste of talent on that part.
It wasn't just Kevin Spacey. Bryan Singer was on that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's when Bryan Singer was on the fall off. Like
yeah, I get what you mean.
he was like after
They
that was
did him
after
dirty.
X-Men Last Stand actually.
Nah, it was to me. Yeah, it was a horrible Superman movie,
and it was long as shit too.
But I like Brandon Routh as the.
He
Adam.
was the
He's
best
very
part of that
quirky,
movie.
very
I-
quirky, and
I
very
liked
like.
it. I liked him as Superman.
I'm sorry when I
Oh,
saw.
I didn't mind his Superman, but like I think that's why going back, release Snyder Cut.
Yeah, I was just gonna
shout
say
out
that.
Zack
That's why
Snyder.
Henry is my Superman.
Like I just think here's my thing with Superman, and it's a good thing we're gonna talk about him now because obviously he pops up various times.
Okay.
Like, it is very
Is he all right? That's what my next question was gonna be. If we're gonna move on to episode 2,
no, not yet.
not yet.
'Cause we'll get to the episode 1 finale, and then we'll go on break to regroup.
Okay.
But there's still like a bunch of shit that happens. Not a bunch, but a good talking.
Because damn, in
points.
45 minutes, all this shit happens.
Yeah,
God
dude.
damn.
But in terms of Superman, what I wanted to say was the reason I've always been more of a Batman fan was because they gave him more of a realistic tone. Like Superman was always that Boy
Scout.
the Boy Scout.
No, but
right,
that-
and that's understandable.
You
That's
charge it to the
understandable.
time it came out in, though.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. At the time,
In
with the
1930s,
Christopher
yeah,
Reeves
yeah.
movies,
And remember, this is a continuation. Superman Returns is a continuation of
From the Christopher Reeve. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was like, see ya. Because those shits were garbage too. So if there's any
Damn.
Christopher Reeves fans,
Damn.
see ya.
Wow.
See ya.
Yo, he's leaving. He's like, yo, don't even bring me back. I'm walking home.
Nah, but I do look. That was
do
very
need a ride home.
disrespectful. That was extremely disrespectful.
That
of me.
was.
Don't care. It doesn't matter.
I thought he was gonna be like, I'm sorry.
Nah.
That's not nice.
You're not wrong, but I'm gonna play that shit. Where is it?
I'm so
Do not attach any association.
Oops.
wrong
Wasn't
one.
that
Wrong Stephen A.
Or whatever.
Alright, you'll find it later.
What I want to say is that, that Superman for that time, Christopher Reeves was lit, because it was like comic book movies were like kind of like weren't really a thing. They also weren't taken seriously,
Right.
and also appreciate very much. I think it was Superman 3 or Superman 2.
What?
that got like a really there was like a big thing about the director in the studio and all that.
It might have been 3 because 3 I heard was just god awful.
It was awful, and
Where he
then
fought himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so I think it was Superman. Oh God, I saw scenes from that too. I
Yeah,
was just
same.
like, yo, people weren't seeing. People were sitting in
known
the
as
theater.
the worst
Again, bro, it's for the time.
I
Go
know,
go
so-
back and watch Jaws. You're gonna be like,
Jaws is garbage too.
facts. That's what I'm saying.
Like I'll just say, like, yeah, I can't disagree.
Nah, but like for example, that like I know we sidetracking here, but like I fuck with how that director was like, nah, fuck the studio. I'm doing my own shit. Cop my shit on VHS.
Right. So
Snyder Cut on VHS. Anybody?
Oh, that's
I'm
lit.
with it.
That would be lit. Snyder
I'm
Cut on
with it.
VHS.
Everyone like goes to the VHS, like has to blow it, like clean it. But like, damn, is this shit still working? Can you even buy one of those anymore?
No, VCRs are still out there.
Cool.
Actually, VCR DVD players are pretty popular, and they're like $600 and shit.
Got you. But yeah,
Nostalgia sells.
back to my tone on Superman. That's why I remember one of the other admins, Brian. He was like, I didn't watch Man of Steel, and he was like, yo, you're bugging. I'm like, he's like, I know you're not, because I was like very anti-Superman. I'm like, fuck Superman. I'm not buying no Superman gear.
Yeah.
I'm not buying no Superman comics. Very anti-Superman, bro. I watched Man of Steel, and I think that's why like I have sort of a bias towards Henry and towards Zack Snyder, just because
He
I
made
watched
you-
it and I was just like, this was fucking incredible.
Again, that I feel like that happens with every generation of whatever superhero comes out. Like people
Right.
get introduced to something, they tend to fuck with it more than other things.
Yeah.
Like
Imagine 40 years
Again-
from now, people gonna be like, yo, man, this Steel was garbage. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You
never.
mind?
Multiverse.
But okay, so we get back, right? They're fighting as Lena Luthor and Alex, who's Supergirl's sister.
Yeah.
They're creating this device to get people off this earth.
All right.
So, clearly Earths have billions and billions of people. So it's not just, think about it like this. We have our world right now, billions of people.
Yeah.
And there's multiple of these motherfuckers.
So that's
So it's a-
potentially
it's a-
trillions of people.
Oh,
here.
definitely. Like,
sure.
right. So they're creating this device while all the heroes so far are fighting the demons. So we have who? Supergirl. We have Superman, Flash, White Canary,
Mia,
Oliver,
Era,
Mia, Batwoman,
Yeah.
and Ray Palmer
fighting.
fighting.
Like-
So they're fighting the shadow demons. This is just them. They're defending the tower. They're like, make sure that tower stays up because that's the thing keeping the antimatter radiation.
Yeah.
Like, so they're defending it. The Monitor shows up middle of the fight. He's like, nope, evacuate. Just start
Like we
snatching
got to
all the
start saving
heroes.
our resources for
Yeah.
bigger fights because we're already losing this
Yeah,
one.
he's like, this one's lost. Oliver, he's like, Oliver's time. And then Oliver's like, is everyone off the planet? He was like, nope. Oliver's like, then it's not time. And he's alone. He hits.
So you telling me the monitor was like,
Literally, that's it. That's it. Like a Monitor tells him, Oliver's like, "How do I die?" He's like, "The more you don't know, the more you'll be prepared."
if I say it, it won't happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
But so then Oliver's defending the world by himself against
Yeah.
these shadow demons. And then he has like a Hawkeye moment where he reaches and
And there's like
no arrows left.
Yeah, come on, realistically,
Which is good.
Yeah,
right.
fine, good.
like,
I'm glad.
dope. So
yeah.
he puts his bow down, and I'm like, obviously Oliver knows how to fight, but how you gonna fight shadows really? I mean, you can. They were hitting them with punches
Yeah.
and stuff.
Wait, so shadow demons are
They're like the,
Anti-Monitor's minions.
yeah, like
basically.
henchmen for
so
Anti-Monitor.
parademons?
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I'm following. I'm following.
Yeah.
But so he goes and starts fight. So then we see him run off to go fight them, and then
And then the Earth's just.
right.
And the
So-
spaceships that had the people, like how they're trying to evacuate the people from
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah.
There's people on the spaceships, but did everybody make it?
Clapped. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
all the Earth,
Right.
the Earth just disappears. And then fast forward to
We get a scene where Oliver's laying down and like they're in a bunker and he's
They're
laid
back
down
on
the
Earth
bed.
1.
Right.
So he got pulled back.
Yeah, he did.
Anti-Monitor
Okay.
pulled him back. Yeah,
Alright.
not Anti-Monitor, the Monitor.
Monitor.
Okay,
yeah.
monitor put him back.
By the way, Oliver hit him with an arrow that like stunned him. Like it like fucked him
He
up.
had like a special arrow for
Yeah.
him just in case he tried to pull him back. He was
so
like,
on
no,
his
it's not
his
time.
Batman contingency plan shit.
yeah, arrow
He's like, I
be
got-
on shit like that.
Right. He's like, I got an arrow straight for you, my guy. But so Oliver's sacrifice saved a billion more people, but
There's still
more billions of people got decimated on Earth 38. So Supergirl's Earth is gone, done. So bye,
See ya.
bye.
Yeah.
And he has a touching moment, like
with his daughter and Barry.
right,
And
and
Now-
Barry.
Is this? I'm sorry to interrupt, but will this Arrow dying in Crisis? Will that follow his send off in the final season?
This is the final season. There's 2 more episodes of Arrow left.
Yeah. So there's his crossover episode, which hasn't happened yet, and then there's one after the whole crossover. Event.
No, there's 2 after the whole crossover.
Oh, there's 2 after the crossover.
One of them is gonna be the backdoor pilot to that new.
Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like,
Exactly.
But-
Is that another show?
yeah, the one we were talking about earlier.
I thought it
Yeah.
was another show.
Oh,
that
no,
I
no,
was
no,
just like,
no.
all right, guys.
But
It's that
so-
backdoor pilot.
Yeah, as he's talking about this, Monitor goes, "This is not how he should have This is not how I saw him dying." And I'm like, what? Hold on.
Whoa.
What are y'all talking
Then
about? Right now?
how?
Like, we're in episode 1. Think about it like this: we're still in like an hour into Infinity War, so it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, Tony Stark's not gonna die yet.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So that's what happened. Like he dies, and like Barry's crying. Like, everyone's pretty much crying because it's like. And I'm looking like I was with my girl. I was looking at her. She was like, "Yo, they're not fucking around. Like they killed the main dude who started the universe in the first hour. It's 5 hours. Arrow 1 down.
That's
Arrow's gone.
nuts. That is
So and then Pariah, who is Tom Cavanaugh's character. That man plays like every character known to man, which is dope.
Pariah in the comic books, like he's forced by Anti-Monitor to
And they were
watch.
very comic accurate with this. too.
Very, like even the suit. He's forced to watch the Earths decimate. Like Anti-Monitor, that's like his consequence. His consequence is to
Off of
watch.
what?
So basically on the Flash, they're so what they've been doing the past couple of seasons is they have a council of Wells. So every new season they kind of bring in a new Wells from a different Earth to help them with stuff because basically on all Earths he's smart.
Yeah.
And so this one was Nash Wells, and he was basically
Like a
like
bounty-
archaeologist,
yeah, archaeologist
bounty
type
hunter,
guy.
right?
All right.
And he's looking for the Monitor because he is thinking the Monitor is the main villain of all this.
Okay.
So he finds underneath this kind of I don't know how to describe it, but it shows the 7 paragons, which we'll get into because it's obviously big for the story. He finds it and he hears a voice thinking it's the Monitor. He's like, do this and you will get your true potential. But it was actually the Anti-Monitor using him to free him because the Anti-Monitor was trapped, and this was going to
Inside
free
that.
him. Yeah, so it
He was
freed him.
inside this. So once he found out what was in that, he opened it, and then it was Anti-Monitor, and then Anti-Monitor basically just made him into Pariah.
All right.
Erased all his memory as his that Nash Wells, and now he's just forced to watch the Earths die.
Yeah, he can't do anything about it because
Like-
Anti-Monitor can
So
control
is
him
he
at
like
any
in a
point.
couch?
No, like he's just watching like in the comic books, he's watching as people are holding on to him. He's like, "Help me, help me!" He's just looking at them die.
He can't do anything.
He can't do anything. He's just watching.
But like, why?
Anti-Monitor's a dick. He's like Anti-Monitor's just.
He's the
like,
villain.
He's the villain.
What an
So, like,
asshole.
So, okay, no, but they explained it in it was either episode 3 or episode 2. I think it was episode 3. His goal is to wipe the multiverse, and basically, like you were saying
Make one
earlier,
Earth.
make one Earth, but an antimatter Earth, and that's it. So he can rule over. So
He's on some Brainiac type shit.
yeah, he's on some.
Yeah, but Brainiac looks cooler. So I would have minded from Brainiac.
But
So how does
that's
this episode 1 end?
That's how it ends.
That's
So
how
it
it
ends
ends?
with Pariah saying like, yeah,
Everything
like
known to
everything as
man.
we know is
It's
changed.
a dub. All right.
So
So,
that's basically foreshadowing too that after the whole crisis, nothing's gonna be back to the same how it
all
was.
right. So guys, when we come back after this brief message from me to ya, we're gonna break down episodes 2 and 3. All right. Oh yeah. Thanks for sticking through for the commercial break. We are back. We are back. Still joined by His Grace, Real World of Flash,
What is up, guys?
and we're gonna just continue on with the breakdown of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and we're on
Yes.
episode 2. Moving on to episode
2,
3
hour
next.
2.
Yes.
Hour 2. So we get the Earth 74 Wave Rider. Wave Rider is the legend ship, basically.
Okay.
And the AI is actually Captain Cold, a robot.
You know how Gideon is like basically in Legends, Gideon is like the AI that commands the ship that like controls everything.
So they're Jarvis. Got it. Got it.
Literally,
I'm
yeah.
following along. I'm
yeah,
following along.
literally they're
Got it.
Jarvis.
All
But
right.
on that Earth, it's Captain Cold doing the voice instead of
like
Gideon.
the Flash villain, Captain Cold.
Because
I-
Captain Cold and Heatwave repairs.
Yeah, I know. They're
Captain
like
Cold's
brothers.
dude from
Yeah, I
Prison
know, I
Break.
know,
Okay.
yeah.
They're not actual brothers, but like
Oh, they're not brothers?
They're not brothers. They're just partners.
My life is a lie.
Like
They're brothers in Prison Break.
in prison.
Multiverse.
Multiverse. It's like anytime someone asks you a question you're unsure about, multiverse.
Basically.
No, if you can explain something. If you can
Right,
explain
exactly.
something,
It's like, but how come this at multiverse?
Multiverse, yeah,
Multiverse.
whatever.
You're fine. So we get a moment which was funny where the monitor's like explaining about the Paragons.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the first time we're all learning about it. So we're ready, and then Baby John Kent starts to cry. And they're kind of like just passing it along to each new person. So Lois passes it on to Superman. Superman's like, oh, he's still not passing it on to Supergirl. Supergirl still crying.
That's
and
a
he keeps
fire scene.
And he keeps interrupting the
That's
Passing
monitor.
to
And the
fire.
monitor.
Batwoman's like, no, she didn't.
Nah,
She
she
doesn't
didn't
even
even touch
hold
it. She's like, yeah,
Doesn't even
don't
touch
give me a
it.
baby. kind of
Oh,
on
she's
Bruce
cold
Wayne.
like
yeah.
that? I fuck with that.
And then they give it to Heatwave, and baby stops crying.
And then because he's that hard, like he says like, oh, okay, and then he just carries the baby around the ship and
Yeah.
like just reading his
Basically, he's the
stories.
babysitter for the episode.
Basically, it's mad funny.
Yeah. So it's like, all right. He
Alright.
kind of gets irrelevant.
I feel like that's, again, in every show you have a character that gets written off in a sly
Yeah,
way. So like,
yeah.
look, he's not so important in this episode. So Heatwave,
It's
you
a
benched.
It's a Batwoman episode 2 right now. This
Okay.
is Batwoman.
All right,
so you're
dope.
gonna get some Bat centric.
She gets some minutes.
Yeah.
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 So Lex takes that Book of Destiny that we were talking about.
All right.
So Lex Luthor shows up. So mind you, last season on Supergirl, he
Died.
died.
Lex
But
Luthor died.
Lex Luthor died.
Not
so
the junior. Lex
No.
Luthor.
Lex
Lex
no,
Luthor.
this-
Lex.
who's played by the dude from
Two
Two and a Half Men.
John Cryer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He play Lionel Luthor in this old Superman movie. He played Lex's nephew in the old Superman movies.
He's actually not a bad Lex.
He's pretty good.
Like
Like
a
he
lot.
just has a goatee and a beard.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah,
bald.
because he does give off, like, he does look like the kind of like.
Literally. That's exactly what
and
it's
that
yeah.
plays a part when we
Yeah,
talk
alright,
about something
okay,
else.
all right, okay.
So he takes that Book of Destiny we were talking about where you can rewrite history and do things, obviously to a certain extent. Lila, Harbinger, starts to
Okay,
hear
yeah.
voices, which we later find out obviously is the Anti-Monitor.
All right.
So we go to Earth 99, Gotham City, where we meet.
99. Does 99 play a certain number in your head? 2099?
Is that? That's not.
Say it.
Say it.
That's Batman Beyond.
Yeah. So like that's in the future right now. They did that as a play on like the future right now.
He's in shock.
so
I
like
don't know what to say.
so like you see like right now they're going into the future. This Earth is in the future right now.
So So Earth 99.
I actually took it as, didn't Batman Beyond come out in 1999?
That's also an Easter egg, I think.
It could be that. Actually.
It could be either or. I like your idea better, though.
Actually,
I like your idea better, though.
It could be, yeah.
But
So wait. So I'm sorry, but when they decide to go to know what Earth to go to next, that is because they get tipped off by the Monitor, correct?
The Monitor's
Okay,
like the
yeah.
paragon.
I forgot to
Got
explain
you.
that, right? He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we need to find. So we have a couple already,
We
right?
have 4 paragons right
Yeah.
now. 4 we know is
Supergirl,
Supergirl,
White Canary.
White Canary, Martian Manhunter, and Flash.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 that they know.
So far,
a paragon,
we need to find 3
a paragon is kind of like somebody that they need to
to help.
to help out,
with this. Yeah.
To
like the chosen ones.
Right.
Literally
Okay,
the chosen ones.
got you. All right.
so then you know he doesn't, he kind of gives them hints. He doesn't tell them exactly who it is.
Because
Yeah.
he himself doesn't know. Either.
Right. So whatever's given to him is what he conveys to them. He's like, oh, you know, the bat of the
He calls it. He's like one of them is the Bat of the Future.
yeah, the bat of the future.
And then there's another one named a
Oh, so
Kryptonian.
then that's why it makes more sense. The bat
Yeah,
of the
Bat
future.
of the Future.
Okay.
The
Batman
Bat of the
Beyond.
Future. And
So we don't get no Terry here. No,
No.
Terry McGinnis here at all.
We do get Luke Fox. Lucius' son.
Lucius, whatever.
Come
He's
on.
All right.
He's not Morgan Freeman.
then he's
Of
he's
course
not
not,
Morgan
right.
Freeman.
But that scene was dope because when they get there, so it's her, it's Batwoman and Supergirl.
Supergirl.
They go.
All right.
She's like, yo, you trying to come with me? She's like, I bet.
She's like, okay, Batwoman is on the ship. She's like, all right, who wants to meet Batman?
Yeah.
And then Subaru.
Oh no, it was a funny scene before
Oh, she's
that.
thirsty. Nasty.
Nah, it was a funny scene because the Monitor was like, "Oh yeah, Bruce Wayne dedicated his life, body, and like soul to saving Gotham City," and then Ray Palmer goes, "Bruce Wayne is Batman," and then Batwoman looks at him and is like, "Yeah, let's just keep that between us, all right?"
Ray Palmer, fucking cornball. He's a fucking cornball, bro.
Yo, this man hates him. So you know that which they definitely did on purpose too. So Luke opens the door. He's like, "Who the fuck are you?" Closes it. Supergirl just kicks it wide open. He's like, "Yo, I'm getting in here." And then you don't see him yet, but he starts talking like Kevin Conroy. But he's not on the scene yet. He's like, "Don't be so rude."
Hold up.
Luke.
Did you not know that Kevin Conroy was the Bat of the Future?
That kind of threw me off a bit. So
What?
Kevin Conroy's Batman Beyond?
No.
He's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's Bruce Wayne.
He's old Bruce
Oh,
Wayne.
so okay.
He's in his Kingdom
old,
Come,
All right,
like,
he's
yeah.
old Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne. All right.
But like he's
With all the
as he's-
contingency shit on.
Yeah.
right. But as he's
Exactly.
coming down the stairs,
you
you don't see him, but you hear his voice. He's
He's-
like, "Don't be so rude, Luke," and you're just like, "Damn!" Like that
Yo.
voice is just
Yo,
so
that
empowering. Yeah.
Kevin Conroy's voice is like I want him on GPS.
I want him on
I want him on
ASMR.
Siri.
Yo, on Waze, that would be
Yo.
good.
Like imagine
Waze.
turn right. You are home.
Yes, sir. I'll turn.
Yeah, right. You're like intimidated by
And
your own
if you're driving
GPS
at
system.
night, he tells you like crime up ahead. Stop it.
Be vigilant.
Oh my God, that would be
Yeah,
great.
so we get kind of like a mixture of like a Kingdom Come Batman, The Dark Knight Returns.
I actually
Batman.
saw that clip. Like I'm assuming this is the scene where he's talking to Batwoman and
Supergirl,
Supergirl and
yeah.
all that.
So it go like so we kind of get the same thing we did with episode 1. We get a series of people here, series of
Yeah.
people doing this and that. So we're gonna jump around a little bit.
All right.
So we'll get back to him. But we go to Metropolis, Earth 75. So we find out what Lex wants the Book of Destiny for, is to kill every Superman on any multiverse. This man really just hates him.
Fam, you have
Hates.
that much of a god complex. Like, he got a small dick. That's it. Lex got a small dick for sure.
Right. So he kills the Superman of that Earth, Earth 75, and they have a very comic accurate like of the death of Superman. You
Yeah, I
it
know
has
with
the
Lois.
pole,
Where Lois is there, like
Yeah,
and
the cape is on the pole.
yeah, they
Right.
had that kind of scene. And so
how'd he kill him?
It just says on the headline on the newspaper. It's the
I saw a screenshot, but I just figured that they would put some context as to
they,
like
they
in
didn't,
that
they didn't
in
show,
the show.
But he probably used the Book of Destiny had kryptonite and
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
so
It wasn't Doomsday.
no, it wasn't Doomsday. So Iris, so what was it? Iris, Lois, and Clark.
Clark.
So Iris, we get introduced to Iris this episode.
Right.
You know, obviously Barry's wife,
Yeah.
and
Bad
they're
chick.
going. She is bad.
Yeah, so
I hope your girl hears this. I hope my girl hears this.
I've honestly only seen Iris like probably twice, so I don't really remember what
right.
she looks like. all right, keep
Right.
going, keep going.
So they're basically going around and trying to. They're trying to find the other Paragon.
All right.
So it's a Superman that's basically he's lost everything. That's the hint that the Monitor gave them. Like,
Yeah,
he is the most distraught Superman of all in the multiverse.
so emo Superman. In
So-
the Arrowverse. all right,
Not emo, but
Not emo,
okay.
but like he's lost so much, but he still continues to be. That's why he's a paragon. He still continues to be that hopeful.
Hopeful. Okay.
right. So, but first they land on Earth 167, Smallville, where we get Tom Welling,
Welling. Oh,
Superman.
shit.
Yeah.
And you see him with gloves on, struggling to like break wood, and Clark is like, "Wait, I can do that with my bare
like the
hand."
other Superman, like
The other
Tyler
Superman.
one.
But why is that Smallville one so grounded?
And then when they're on, they're talking like the team's talking. He's like, "You are Superman." Or like Tyler Hoechlin was like, "You are Clark Kent, right?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And then they disappear, and you just see Lex Luthor
Lex
with the
pops
Book
up.
of Destiny.
Yeah.
And then Clark, like Smallville, is like, "Who are you?" He's like, "You don't know me? I'm Lex Luthor." And then he looks at him. He's like, "You're not,
You're not
Lex."
Lex.
And then he goes back to just chopping wood.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, Lex is like, "What do you mean?" And then he just takes out kryptonite. It's like this. He grabs it,
Just chucks it.
He's like, that doesn't have any effect on me. And then Lex is like, "Why?" He's like, "Ever since I gave up my powers." And then Lex is like, "Why would you give up your powers?" And then he steps to him. He steps on a toy. And then he was like, "That is worth more than any other superpower." He has a girl. He
Because
has,
they
he
had
has a daughter.
kids. Yeah. Him and Lois. he gave
So
up his
how
powers.
did this Smallville Superman get rid of his powers?
We don't
know. They don't
They don't
elaborate.
explain it. But
But it was just a nice cameo for all the Smallville fans.
and then you see Lois come in, and she was like, "The girls made a mess. They want you to see it." And then he was like, "This looks like a job for us." And then he grabs her hand, and they walk into the house.
Before he does that, though,
cheesy
he,
writing.
before he does that. He punches Lex in the face.
Oh,
so he's
yeah.
like, still stronger. Like, oh no, he blocks Lex's punch.
Yeah.
And then
So-
Right hook.
So, Smallville. Before we continue,
right. It's canon now.
The only thing I liked about Smallville. Never watched it
So then, how can you say the only thing you like?
because
about
I've
it
seen
is-
like trailers and stuff, like commercials for it on TV and stuff. What I liked about it was that did he ever like don the suit?
yeah, the
It's
last
last
episode.
episode.
That's what it was built up for. Because it was basically Clark as a teenager in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
So then like, what I liked about it was that it was basically just Superman in a flannel all the time, just chilling.
Yeah. It was,
That's what I liked
He's
about it.
in a
Like,
flannel in Crisis.
right, like you said.
yeah, I know. I saw in the trailer for Crisis.
He's very grounded, like you said.
All right,
Like, they give
I
a
like
good
that.
in-depth
Never saw the
story.
show, but
So Erica Durance, so she's the one that plays Smallville Lois. She's also
She
uh,
plays Kara's mother.
yeah, Kara's mom in Supergirl.
So,
who
like,
got
on
wiped
another
out in
Earth-
Argo.
Multiverse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. So then so do you think we're gonna get more screen time of them or no?
Who?
That's of Tom Welling, Erica
You're
Durance.
gonna get more screen time of Erica Durance's Lois.
Oh, but not of Tom Welling's.
We don't know anything. I don't know.
Right there.
You heard it here
You heard it
first.
here first.
I don't know anything about what's it called, Tom Welling yet. I specifically stayed away from because I want to be surprised.
Yeah, I understand. So we get to Earth 96 Metropolis. We go and see Kingdom Come. Your favorite actor, Brandon Roth, his
That's
Superman. And as you know, it's a continuation of Christopher Reeves and, Superman Returns. So this is now canon. This is
Lois
now canon.
Walks in. And
Lois
she-
is attracted to
And they
all
had a
these
kid. They
Supermen.
had a kid in that.
They did.
In that
And he
Christo-
mentions him.
Yeah,
He
in that
mentions
Brandon
him.
Ruth one.
So like,
Ruth.
so Lois bumps into him, and then she's like, "Oh," and like they have like this moment where they look at. He's like, "You look so familiar," and then like this isn't that, and then her husband Clark is like, like,
Yeah, like-
I'm not pussy. I'm right here.
'Cause she was also attracted to Tom Welling. Like, she was
Hey,
like, oh.
yo.
she was like,
Oh,
"Why
like
is he
this.
so buff?" And then
And Tyler just looks at her like, because he's
Really?
like smaller.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
compared
yeah.
to
he's
Tom Welling.
6 foot too. Like he's not
He-
small.
wow, how tall is Tom Welling?
Tom Welling's like 6'3", I think. Damn. And then Brandon Routh is like 6'2". So like,
Yeah,
it's
Brandon
just-
Ross stole too.
Hey, a pussy. Doesn't matter.
So then, yeah, what happened? So
yeah,
they
we
bump in.
Right. So obviously they explain to him like we have like no time to explain this, but we know you're Superman. This is another Superman.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
and
Like
that,
they
right?
just
get,
yeah,
get to
okay.
it. So they basically took it right from the comics too. That the Joker, went to the Daily Planet and basically killed everyone.
He
like
gassed
so, he
Daily
gassed
Planet.
the Daily Planet, and so his Lois
Yeah, I
died.
saw it in the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
So his Lois
You
died.
just see a bunch of plaques with names: Lois Lane, Perry White,
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen, and then they're like, "What's this name?" He was like, and then he explains the story of the gas, and then Lois is like, "Almost like you've lost anything more than ever." And then
Yeah. So
Monitor
they-
mentioned like,
Right. So
there's
they
a
know
picture.
that this is the paragon that they need.
So no Joker like
no,
at all.
He was like somebody played what was called a joke and gassed the whole entire thing.
So pun.
So,
Such
like,
a
you
pun.
can't-
Yeah,
like-
he said the
Yeah.
outcast of Gotham.
Yeah,
He said the outcast
Okay,
of Gotham. played
because
the
you know
Joker.
what's so cool about when shows do stuff like that. There's like a name drop of like the Joker's so iconic that just a fucking reference is just like
yeah.
We get
literally.
another one later, but so basically Lex shows up
hmm
to this Superman 2, obviously. He was like, I'm kind of tired of killing Superman. He's like, I'm gonna make Superman kill Superman.
and that's
So-
when they start fighting.
Right. What'd you think of the fight?
It was good for their budget.
Right.
For their budget.
for
They
their
did
budget.
I saw the clip of the fight and I was just like,
I like when they banged in and like
And the-
all the glass shattered.
I like
I'm
when they were on
okay,
top
like-
of the Daily Planet. That
oh,
one
you
was
mean
cool.
what we saw in Man of Steel?
Right. That's why I liked it.
Zack Snyder invented Superman fights.
No, actually, Zack Snyder invented Dragon Ball Z fight.
You know how many comments I saw on that actually? Like that Zack should like make the next Dragon Ball Z movie.
All right,
All right, we're not getting into it. My bad.
Take it
So
easy
they
then.
fight, and then kind of we get a very Christopher Reeves, like cheesy yet hopeful Superman moment where Lois is like, "You can fight it. You know who you are. You have hope. This and that." And then he snaps out of it.
He was like Perry White, Lois Lane. They died, but they still like love you. Like this. And
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It was a cool moment.
So then,
Yeah.
so Lex did that using
The Book of Destiny.
The Book of
So
Destiny.
they knock his ass
So
out.
how is Lex not going nuts by now with all the shit that he's been
So
doing?
he explains it because he literally Lex is a genius.
He's already nuts too.
right, and he's just harnessing all of his energy on doing this task. That he's not doing like multiple things. He
And
kind of
this
like
comes into play again.
All right.
In the
so
I'm actually enjoying you guys explain this shit to me than actually watching it.
right. So yeah, they knock him out. They trap him up. Cool. So we go back to Gotham with Kevin Conroy, and he's explaining that his Batwoman on like his Kate Kane died on that Earth, and we get a very very like
Controversial.
right,
dark
like
moment.
he's talking about, hey, like I've killed once and I killed again and I killed again and I killed again, and he's like I'm a killer, like I'm a murderer, like he's a murderous Batman.
And that's why, like,
Also, he's like Ben Affleck, hold my beer.
Right.
and like, that's basically what it was. Like, The Dark Knight Returns, like how they both based it off, and like,
yeah.
they mention it like this Batman was supposed to show you, like, even though it is Kevin Conroy, like the one Batman like that you've seen that like hasn't killed, that isn't a part of the comic books.
Yeah.
He did kill in this universe because they want to show you a Batman. What happens when Batman like snaps that
Yeah,
line?
he gets pushed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets
So, like,
pushed
So
off.
we in the same house we get Luke Fox, and we get Supergirl like looking at the Batman's trophy cabinet. So it's a Joker card with blood on it. It's
So he killed Joker.
Question, yeah.
Assumably, he
Right,
killed Joker.
right.
Question the Riddler.
Okay.
My bad.
the
Riddler's-
Riddler. We get
Riddler's
Mr.
Kane.
Mr. Freeze's like globe,
Uh-huh.
and we get broken glasses. Clark Kent's broken glasses.
So he clapped that Superman in there?
He clapped Superman.
And then Kara's like, he killed this world Superman, and then Luke is like, how do you think he's in the exosuit?
yeah, how do you think he got in the exosuit? Yeah, so they
Oh,
probably had a crazy fight. And the exosuit, guess what?
Has
Kryptonite
kryptonite.
all over that.
Yeah, I
shit.
saw that clip, and he snuffs fucking
Supergirl,
Supergirl.
yeah.
I
So
was like,
Supergirl
oh!
Right, Supergirl comes down and she goes to Batwoman like, "Yo, we need to head out because this motherfucker is
He's
crazy." And right, so then he gives a speech from The Dark Knight Returns. So I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, exactly." Basically, the speech Ben Affleck gave, he's like, "My parents taught me a different lesson." Like,
Yeah, it was like, my parents told me a very different lesson. Life only makes sense if you force it to, and that's
he said
true.
that. He said that
Out
line.
of the comic books.
Right, straight out of the comics. Obviously, Zack Snyder incorporated it into his movie,
Exactly,
and
he
they incorporated it into this. So that's what I loved about it. But then what I despised, what I absolutely despised, I'm glad you agree with me on this. So he goes to hit Supergirl again. Batwoman defends her, kicks him, he gets electrocuted and dies.
I'm feeling it coming.
Oh,
So that exosuit, I guess it was filled with electricity or something, because it's like mechanical.
the science behind it makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, but it was just.
But he's still
So-
Batman.
so
he should be able to defend
So you're
himself.
telling me you could kick homeboy, and it's just like,
Right.
that's it?
Right. That was so cool.
You know what that meant? That the CW couldn't afford Kevin Conroy for more than one cameo. That's what that meant. Like, if you want to logically put it together.
Right. It's like, but they could have done it in a way better manner. Like him, yeah, being crazy, but him being like, I'm not the guy you're looking for.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not the Paragon.
That would have been cool, and also it would have just been like, and they would like, them asking for help or something. And he's just like, fam, leave me alone, like that, like kind of that reclusive, like.
Right. And it's just and it would have been dope because you have Kevin.
I mean, he gets
Conroy.
clapped anyway. At least have him die by antimatter instead of just.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
terrible.
Because basically he was saying like, I don't care if the world dies. Like, good, let it.
He was like, if the world is even a tenth of what this city is, I don't want to save it.
Yeah. Which again could be dope if they just ended it in the right manner.
Yeah.
That was ass.
Yeah.
See ya.
That was bad. I won't front.
Yeah.
They could have done
Yeah.
him more justice on that. But cool. So now we have the team of Barry, Constantine/Constantine. It's a funny moment in there as well. But Barry, Constantine, Mia,
And Sarah.
and Sarah.
All right.
So basically, Mia. Actually, it was Barry's idea, right?
Yeah,
He's
they
like, I
call
heard
up-
something called of a Lazarus pit that can.
We
Bring
know.
Oliver
Yeah, I
back
know
to
about the
life.
Lazarus.
Right,
Yeah, I
right,
know
of
about
course.
That can
I
bring
saw-
back
I saw.
dead
I know.
people.
Yeah, I'm cursed with knowledge there.
So they get John Constantine, and I like that scene where Barry was like, "Yeah, can you take your like smoke break later?" And he's like, "Ease up, Speedy. Like this is the spell." I love that actor.
But
by the
he,
way.
you know what
Matt
Constantine
Ryan.
reminds me of? That weird dude in Doom Patrol.
Which one?
The dude that in episode 4 with the kid that's like the chosen one. You don't remember that?
No,
the
I
dude
don't.
that he's like oh whatever, and he does doing the spell and stuff. He's like a bounty hunter for like
Oh, okay, I know you're talking about, yeah.
paranormal shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
But
You don't watch Doom Patrol, right?
I do, but I don't know why I don't remember that.
I know, right?
He was just
vaguely
in one
remember.
episode. He was
I
just in one
vaguely
episode.
remember. But okay, so they go. So they have to search for it because a lot of worlds have been destroyed already. So
Yeah.
there's only one remaining Lazarus Pit left, and it's on Earth 18, North Dakota. Why do we go to North Dakota? Because we get a Jonah Hex cameo.
Jonah Hex.
It's Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Wait,
I was gonna say the same thing.
You would be like, "What? I'm watching it right now."
nah, Jonah Hex was awful. It's,
Oh, it was garbage.
it's one of the
No, but
worst.
they
it's a
brought
horror.
him into Legends of Tomorrow
And
for
he
like a
was
couple
pretty good
episodes,
on
and he was
Legends.
good.
He was good
like
on
on the show.
Who's Jonah Hex
I
in
don't
this?
know.
His
some-
name is Jonathan Sheck. He's
This
just
guy's
an
cursed
actor.
with all knowledge.
All right.
But
Cursed with mad knowledge DC stuff. You're the new DC correspondent.
taking away Mark's position.
Zoom, too bad.
But so he gets in there. He's like kind of like pervy. He's like, oh, like I'll let you be in here, for
He
something.
got the scar and all that.
Sarah gives him the scar.
On this earth, on that earth, he doesn't have the scar, and then like he's hitting on them. He's like, "Yeah, I'll let you use the Lazarus Pit," and then he touches Mia's face, and like he wants to like do shit, and then it's like they start fighting, and then Sarah's like, "You were bound to get this somehow," and then he just
Wait, but how did she know he had that?
there was
'Cause
another
on
Jonah
Legends-
Hex.
Yeah, another
Oh,
one.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
She's
okay,
like, you're
gotcha,
gonna get
gotcha.
this eventually.
Right,
So
right.
she gives it to him.
Yeah.
Knock his ass out. Barry returns with Constantine with Oliver, dead Oliver, and he's like, did I miss something here? Barry's funny.
Barry
I'll give it to
No, Grant
Gustin.
Gustin like to be like has a huge head. It's fine. Looks like a bobblehead, but it's fine.
Not in the new cowl. You haven't seen the new cowl.
I seen it.
No,
His head is still huge.
no. Leave his head alone.
Leave his head alone.
Nah, but he's legit. Like I like his Flash because when he showed up in Arrow, I was like, oh, I like this kid. He's cool. He's like, like he's young. He like,
I love that scene because Oliver was just like, do your parents know you're here?
yeah, he was roasting his ass, bro.
And like,
I love that.
what I like about Bear is the evolution. Like he was that childish, like, and then
And he
like
starts maturing. Yeah,
he's way more mature now when you compare it to the last
Yeah.
season. It's crazy.
But so the spell works, the Lazarus Pit works. He jumps back up, but he's mindless, obviously, because that's what happens when
of course. Yeah, we
You're-
seen it. We seen it with Damian Wayne
Mm.
and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
literally.
with Jason Todd,
Yeah, Jason Todd. Yeah.
right? But they knock his ass out for a little bit, and they have to find out how to get his soul back. But so episode 2 ends with Harbinger hearing all those voices.
Again.
It leads her to the Anti-Monitor. We get introduced.
He
to
was
him.
like, "Come here, we have work to do," and then it just ends.
Nasty dude.
Yeah,
He's
looked-
ugly as fuck, bro.
he looked, but like his suit is pretty.
I do like the character, the choice of making his face look like that.
right.
Because
There's a reason behind. Do you know what the reason is?
can I take a shot at it?
Go. I mean, I doubt you're gonna.
Because it has to
go.
do with something evil, like of it, like I guess his
Like you
Spit
see
it
now
out,
that
Junior.
His brother looks nothing like that.
yeah, I know they're completely different people, but the thing is that I feel like I guess his his aura is just like so like he's so evil, like I guess he just becomes physically what he is, I guess.
No.
Like superficially, no? Okay.
Your soul is so
Because I'm
ugly
connecting this
that
to
you
Star
will be-
Wars because in the Sith in
with-
Star Wars they
right.
get
Oh,
ugly when they
okay,
get evil.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's a pretty good
What's the
explanation.
explanation then?
Do you remember what happened last season with I'm trying Deegan.
Oh,
Deegan.
yes.
What happened with his face?
Right.
That looked exactly like Anti-Monitor.
Right.
What happened with
So-
Deacon's face?
Deegan's face, like he overused the Book of Destiny. Book of Destiny.
Anti-Monitor overused the Book of Destiny.
That's what that's the
Damn, he
big,
must have OD overused
Yeah.
that
He
shit.
must have been like, "Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling."
Stan. Yo. Like that's literally it. Like his face is exact. Like they have that that burnt out white face.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like-
wow. Good point. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
I'm glad you
what I
caught that
wanted to
reference,
do-
by the way.
What I wanted,
Stan.
what I wanted to do was watch the last year's crossover before I watched this one, but I just never got the time.
The time,
to.
right?
But-
Yeah.
Also, it's
Yeah.
Legends. So
There is no Legends.
no. Oh, I thought it was a Legends crossover, or it was
When?
just
Last
no,
year?
No,
They
what
didn't-
you're referring to right now, that
Oh.
was Legends, or it was
No, just last year's crossover in general.
Oh,
like
okay,
Flash,
okay.
Arrow, and all
Got
that.
you.
So yeah, this is gonna bring us into episode 3.
Which was the best episode.
Oh, I thought you were gonna play something.
No, just
No,
keep
no, I
going.
was talking to him because
Oh,
so I was like, oh, I thought he was gonna play something. Okay, so
y'all like hip
episode
hop?
episode 3. It starts. We get Earth 203, New Gotham, a Birds of Prey cameo. Did you ever? You definitely probably never watched that show.
The
right?
old Birds of Prey show.
That came out in 2003, I believe, because that's why it was Earth
Right, in
203.
2003, I was like 11.
Yeah, that's when it came out.
See ya.
Yeah.
No.
So like they brung in like the old Huntress.
Yeah, the OG
From that-
Huntress from that
from
she
that
was
show.
there,
Now the
and she
best
was-
Huntress is the one from Arrow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
She was great.
She was.
really
She
good.
was, I'm just saying she's great.
And she was very underused.
Sure.
Very underused.
Also, her send off was trash, bro. Like, she,
Yeah, okay.
All right,
okay.
cool. So she was talking to Barbara Gordon.
Like you see her, she's like
Oh.
Oracle, dude, and then Oracle just mic cuts off. You see the antimatter, and then she.
Yeah, they get
Nice.
dudied. They get Thanos. They get Thanos
What?
snapped.
Wait, what? What?
That's
Damn, we don't even see Oracle?
Nah, it
she's
was
just
just-
in
it was
the
just
ear.
the
She's just
voice.
in the ear.
Damn.
But Thanos snapped and it was gone.
Yeah.
So then Cisco Ramon, aka Vibe, gets his powers back. Shout out to the Latino.
You know the vibes.
You know the vibes.
Literally.
So a little bit of context. Basically, last season he didn't want to be Vibe anymore. He just wanted to live like a normal.
You don't want to vibe
he
anymore.
didn't want to vibe no
He's
more.
just trying to
No more
vibe.
He's like, yo, I'm just trying to get on a different frequency than y'all. We're not on the same wavelengths.
Nah, he got a girl, and he's like he wants to settle with the girl, and like this girl is actually mad cool. Like he told her about the powers, and she was like, I'm not gonna be mad like every other superhero's girlfriend. Like
Right.
I
Oh,
understand
you
you had
didn't-
to keep
you
it a
didn't-
Oh,
secret.
that's
you didn't-
shots. She
Yeah.
said, Lois, you pussy.
Like literally, she's like, I'm not gonna get mad.
Iris
Like I
who?
understand. Oh,
Wait, hold on. Does Iris, like, could she, like, book it too?
What do you mean?
Like, could she get the Speed Force too, eventually, or something?
She had it for an episode, like
it was just an episode.
just an episode, like,
But she didn't put, like, a costume on or anything.
She did.
Oh, she did?
and that
Okay.
eventually became his daughter's costume.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's dope.
So but it was a funny scene with Cisco in the monitor, and he was like, Cisco's like, nah, man, that's not my thing. Monitor was like, all right, shut up. And just gave
And
him
then
his
he just
powers
has
back.
the suit back. He's like, what
Yeah,
the f-?
and his powers back.
I have a
So
hot take about Cisco, but
Go. You really don't like him?
don't care.
Oh,
wow.
See ya.
that's
He's
probably
like-
one of
he's
the only side characters. Like, no, I understand because side characters can be very very iffy.
If
But
you
like,
guys watch anime, you know what I mean. Like, it's like,
I don't watch anime.
oh, no, that's fine too. That's fine too. The only anime I'm up on is Dragon Ball Z in a sense. And I know all the Naruto references, but I know that side characters are like a thing in shows that
Right.
it's just like they could hit or miss. Hit or miss. So, yeah.
Fun fact: Barry Allen's favorite anime is Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, shout out to Barry Allen. Like Barry Allen or Grant Gustin?
Barry Allen, like Cisco, like he mentions it. Barry Allen mentions
Oh.
it. I believe it's Dragon.
They
Ball
could
Z.
name drop that?
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
They name
name
drop
drop
MC.
Marvel.
Yeah, they name drop Marvel.
Like he
all the
was like,
time.
my Spidey senses are tingling here. What is
Yeah.
this? No, like not that exact like line, but like he was like, I don't know, like he mentions it, and like he mentions like, oh, I'm a Hemsworth now, and like he was like,
Oh, okay. So they're super meta. With some,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Well, he's like the pop culture reference guy.
basically,
yeah.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah, you need to stop hating on Cisco, my guy.
Don't care.
Okay. So yeah, then we get to Kara wants to use the Book of Destiny to bring back her Earth that got demolished, evaporated. But Lex is explaining to her, and because he's trapped now, because obviously
They caught him.
yeah. So he's like, it took an enormous amount of of my energy to harness it and be able to kill these Supermen. He's
Alright.
like, and now he's like, you're talking about bringing a whole universe back. Like that's gonna take a lot, and it could forgot the exact term he uses, but
Fry her brain. Like,
yeah.
You can make her go crazy.
and
And
she'll
like,
go brain dead.
yeah,
It'll make your arm skinny and limp.
it'll just make anything like. And then Batwoman, like that could make her go mad. And a Kryptonian going mad, like that.
Yeah,
could go, that
that's
could be
dangerous.
So
yeah.
Batwoman realized that even before Lex even explained it, because Kara was already hinting at bringing her Earth back
Yeah.
with this. So Batwoman took some kryptonite with her
From the bat, like
from
Kevin
Kevin
Conroy's
Conroy,
thing,
yeah.
and she just kept it.
She's like, you know what? Maybe
Slide to
Bruce,
me, slide to
maybe Bruce had a point. These Kryptonians, motherfuckers.
And
Yeah,
like
crazy.
she's the paragon of courage.
Okay, so you're telling me that that Batwoman peeped that Bruce had that shit, and she was like,
Literally.
Facts. But
wait, does she still use her Australian accent in that? Or
No.
there's an American accent. So yeah, the Monitor explains the Anti-Monitor's plan, to wipe out the entire multiverse, just keep one antimatter universe. So Batwoman came around the kryptonite. We get a Lucifer cameo because they need to bring Oliver's body, his soul back into his body.
So
Constantine couldn't do it. Yeah,
he couldn't do it, so he calls Lucifer.
fam,
on Earth 666.
I didn't even know that thing was a DC property.
It is a DC.
Yeah.
It's Vertigo. So
Hell no.
It was a funny
That's
scene
a
though.
pun.
Like he comes out with like 2 females with him.
yeah, he was
And,
like, "Oh, hello, Lucy." Like they were boys. So
Yeah.
like, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Constantine. Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Like they were
Makes
boys,
sense.
but you could tell like that they fell off because they had some sort of beef.
Yeah.
He was like,
And
"You
then-
owe me one," and then he was like, "All right, I'll do it."
Yeah. So they gave him sort of like a Joker card, but it was like a devil card, and he was like, when the devil vanishes, so basically they're going into purgatory to find Oliver's soul, and yeah,
And what's purgatory?
Lian Yu.
Lian Yu literally stands for purgatory
in Mandarin.
in Mandarin. So
Holy
like
shit.
they go
Yeah.
to I don't know, like some spirit, like the island in like
Okay,
Right,
yeah,
because
yeah.
because they go like ask John like, oh, why would Oliver's soul come here? And it was like, oh, that's
That's
Lian Yu is where it all started for him,
Yeah.
so that's probably what his soul registered to go
That's
to.
lit.
Yeah, it was dope.
No, the thing about what I kind of appreciate is that again, this event. How many episodes is this, by the way?
5.
It's gonna be 5.
5 episode
So
event.
we're 3 in.
So 5 hours of just comic panels coming to life. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you explain this to me. That's it.
Right. So, yeah, they get the card. We get a Black Lightning cameo because Black Lightning it hasn't been introduced yet into.
Uh-huh. I'm not.
I thought he was gonna press something. He was like,
Damn, not chill. I'm just making sure whatever's accessible is here.
and because his Earth got erased. So I'm not. Are you caught up with Black Lightning or no?
I'm not, but I heard the most recent episode did like focus on Crisis the most.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
so his Earth got erased?
Yeah, his Earth
Yeah,
got
Like
so
the
like-
season of a show?
basically.
Yeah. So like whatever was going on with the season, it was just like nope. So people that just watch Black Lightning to watch the rest of the shows, probably what the fuck is going on? Like,
Look, all right. Be nice. Be nice. I get it.
no,
I
no,
get
of
it.
course, yeah. But I think the actor does a really good job.
That's been nice.
Well, let's be
Steven is
nice. We don't have to go there.
right, so
I mean, you're not wrong.
The reason we need Vibe Cisco was because he can vibe Pariah. Because remember, he was Nash Wells. He forgot everything. How he got-
Anti-Monitor erased that was mine.
Okay.
Now he's
So they can't get back into. So it's Barry, Killer Frost, Cisco, Pariah.
Frost.
Kanan.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they need to get into that room that Nash Wells first got into and
Alright.
got transformed to Pariah, because they're like, oh, this is where everything this is the origin of it.
Okay.
So he vibes Pariah into remembering, and then they put in like the access code is basically the 7 paragons,
Like the
And you use-
symbols of the 7
yeah.
paragons.
And
Okay,
you
that's
have to, and you
cool.
have to hit it in a certain way for it to open.
All right.
So they do it, they get in there, and we see John Wesley Shipp's Flash
From the 90s,
Yeah,
like
from the
his old
90s.
suit. And
Like,
like,
the-
he's-
Like the cloth suit?
yeah,
Yeah.
the old
like
suit.
he's wearing the suit that he used to wear. Like, but
my
because he's Barry
God.
Allen of Earth 90,
Earth
right?
90, and the show came out in
In 1990, yeah.
So
All these Easter eggs, man.
I know, there's a lot.
like he's basically running on a treadmill, keeping the balance of that Earth. Like he's basically like the reason why everything is so stable, because he just keeps on running. And if he stops running, like Earth One's gone.
Yeah.
Earth One's gone.
But so I'm assuming that's like the episode twist.
Yeah, I mean,
or like a
yeah.
climactic like realization.
yeah.
So
Because so then this entire time through Arrowverse and Flash.
No. We saw him last season, Earth 90's Flash. We saw John Wesley Shipp in the suit.
and
No,
they-
but
and
you
they- and
said
they-
that he's keeping the balance of Earth 1 intact.
Right at that certain moment. But like last year, like he was in the crossover.
Yeah.
And like they were like, this is them finding out the Monitor was like warning them, and Monitor was testing them. And then Earth 90's Flash was about to go like help remember Green Arrow was
Okay.
Flash and Flash was Green
Yeah,
Arrow.
yeah, yeah.
He was about to help them, and then the Monitor basically just did psych, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, he just went somewhere. As he disappeared, Anti-Monitor picked him up.
And
Like-
then he was like, "You're working for me now. Run on this treadmill."
So it's been a while that this
couldn't
man
just
has
be
been
like,
running
no.
on a treadmill.
Anti-Monitor is just
It's just too
it's fucking
powerful.
Anti-Monitor.
Oh, he's pussy, bro. I'll punch Anti-Monitor in the face. Not
Facts,
not LaMonica Garrett, of course, but Anti-Monitor in the face.
But
He's pussy.
yeah, dude. So he's been running on this treadmill.
For
You know,
maybe
Barry,
like a whole year.
our Barry that we know, is trying to get him out. And then he does get him out, but then he's like, "Yo, you need to put me back on it, or else Earth One is donezo." And Barry's like, "No, we're gonna find another way." And then that's where Black Lightning shows up.
And then he puts a hamster.
No, so what was the science reason that they were able to reverse it? So here's where the big twist comes in, because the article says Flash vanishes in crisis. So this whole time, we're thinking, it's our Barry Allen Flash, but John Wesley Shipp's Flash.
So like no, like Barry, like our Barry was like hugging the team. Cisco and Caitlin was like, "You guys were with me from the beginning, but now it's my time to go." And then John Wesley Shipp was like waiting. He was like, "You're gonna do good, kid." And then he just touches him. And this is an old power from like Wally West or like an old Flash. You could steal speed for a certain amount of time. So John Wesley Shipp's Flash steals Grant Gustin's speed, and then he depowers for like a good like minute. And like he was like, "Keep riding the lightning, son. I know you're gonna make us all proud." And then he goes back, and then he starts running. And then he's the Flash that vanishes in the crisis. Like,
Yeah.
you see him disappear.
But they had
That's
done
how fast he's
something
dipping it.
Yeah.
like the way, because he started running he started running backwards.
Yeah, he started
So
running.
it was gonna like basically, instead of the world getting evaporated, like he's the one that got evaporated.
Yeah.
The science behind it. And
Oh,
Black
so
Lightning,
he kind of canceled.
Right,
All
exactly.
Literally cancels it
right.
out.
and Black Lightning was there helping because he had to keep it stable for a little longer, or because if he didn't use the lightnings to keep the thing stable while no one was on the treadmill,
Hence why Black Lightning is important to this. So that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
And
I'm glad.
and he's gonna show up more.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
he's
glad
gonna
they
be there.
gave him something to do. Unfortunately,
And like
you know.
when he's running, you get a flashback from the old '90s series of him talking to his love interest,
Yeah.
and it's
Wow.
just so.
That's
It's
cool.
from one of the episodes.
It was
Yeah,
so
It
emotional.
was nice.
That's cool.
So
So sick. And then you see the logo ripped on the treadmill after he vanishes. It's just the logo, his logo.
and it did play the original Flash.
They
TV
played the
series
original
song, too.
Flash theme,
That's
which Danny
cool.
Elfman made himself. It's really cool.
Shout out to Danny Elfman for that.
Only classic themes. That's the thing. I think Danny Elfman's iconic because of his classic theme
classic,
song,
yeah.
but like, he's nothing crazy. Yeah.
He's
no,
a nothing.
No, don't do that. Don't talk about Danny like because Danny's done some fire shit. Danny did the original Raimi trilogy.
What did I say?
That's what he's talking about.
did I
he's
say?
talking about for his classics.
Oh.
I
He's
said
known for his
he's known for the
classics.
classic, like the Raimi trilogy
Okay, all right,
and shit like that. But like,
Yeah, Justice League. Nah.
The who?
Multiverse.
he did 50 Shades of Grey too.
Really? That was Danny Elfman?
Great movie.
I have yet to see it.
You're not missing much, my guy.
So now we get another kind of big twist because they get to purgatory. It's
Yeah.
Diggle, because Diggle's in this episode. So John Diggle, who in last year's crossover, that '90s Barry, John Wesley Shipp Barry, when he arrives, he sees John Diggle there, and he's like, "John, you're not wearing your ring." A Green Lantern reference.
He's like,
John
oh.
Stewart.
He's like, things must be different here.
Yeah,
And then that was such a cool.
That was it?
No,
that was last year's.
that was
No, I'm
last year.
saying like, okay, all right.
So this year, I did hear rumors that we might be seeing John Diggle as sort of a Green Lantern.
Yeah, because he
tease.
could totally just like
And they did-
lantern
last season
monitor
on Arrow,
into
last
some
season
bullshit.
on Arrow, John's stepfather, his last name was Stewart. So that was like a connection there too. Like Diggle's stepdad's last name was Stewart.
So he probably was adopted or something.
So they get to Purgatory. They're trying to look for Oliver. They find Oliver, obviously, like
He's just going
mindless.
crazy,
Yeah,
and
he's
then
just going
Diggle's
nuts.
like, "Remember who you are. Remember me. I started this with you. This isn't that." Then he remembers, and then he sees his daughter, and then he remembers everything, and then he's about to leave, like they're about to take him out, and then Jim Corrigan comes. Do you know who Jim Corrigan is?
No,
Spectre. Do you know who's Spectre?
no.
Well, he's basically
He is probably the second or third. He's
most.
definitely top 5 most powerful beings in the
He's
DC universe.
Was he in Injustice too?
He might have been.
I think he was.
He's like, he wears like a green hood.
the green hood.
Like, and he looks like, what were you gonna say? From Fantastic Four, right? He kind of looks like Dr.
Dr.
Von
Doom?
Doom. Yeah.
Von too.
Because he sounds familiar. Yeah, bring it up. Yeah.
like he's literally he has a green hood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he does look familiar. All right.
So he's
I'm following.
big. Like I haven't read the Christ on Infinite Earths like comics, but like I've
He
heard people
helps
talking about
restore.
it. But he's like big in the comics, like helping fight Anti-Monitor. So this guy, approaches Oliver and it's like before
Yeah.
like you make a decision, like you can't make this decision. Like
So he just comes out of nowhere.
Jim Corrigan is like Spectre is like do you know Dr. Fate?
Yes.
So it's like a host. Like anybody could be like the Spectre.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because that's what a specter is. It's just a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
okay.
like, okay, do you want to do this or you want to restore like the world, right? The
Yeah, but
universe?
why him and
So-
not Dr. Fate?
so look,
'Cause wouldn't that make
because,
more sense if
because
they use
Doc-
Dr. Fate?
No, Dr. Fate is like he's just totally like he never played a role in Crisis.
Okay.
right,
alright.
yeah, and also Spectre.
He's also more on the spiritual
He's
level,
like
yeah.
the literal embodiment of justice and vengeance,
Yeah.
and that's what Oliver has his journey thus far.
Oh,
has
so
been
then that
for
makes more
justice,
sense for
right.
him. Okay, all right.
So he's like
it
take
is still
this.
kind of random, don't you think?
It was a little random. It was definitely
Because if we got hints of it at least before, I mean, unless we did or not.
Spectre, no.
No,
No?
I
Yeah.
think they did it in the sense that like
It made sense.
it's
It made sense.
it's
yeah.
pieces to the puzzle that were put there, like probably like by Spectre himself because he's big.
Jim
Like,
Corrigan,
he's-
yeah, he was like, okay, you want to go live your life for the next like 2 hours,
Yeah.
or you want to save the universe and become a Spectre,
All right.
and then
so
Arrow just becomes Spectre.
we
yeah,
we
Oliver.
haven't gotten anything since.
Well-
Oh, yeah, because that's how episode 3
Well,
ends.
Oliver did
No.
say
I
like,
can't go back.
Yeah, I can't go back with you guys. Like to his daughter, like to John. And I thought that was great. I'm so happy they went that route because I'm like, if you're just gonna
Go back
bring
to that
him-
die again.
right, I'll be like, please don't do that. Exactly, make him something big. And what has he been saying all season? Right before he starts, like when we have the preview for the episode, he goes, "My name is Oliver Queen. Like I had to become something else. Like,
I
think
had to become something else.
That's very.
but I
very
think
on the
this
nose.
season, yeah, he had said no, but he said this in season like 1, obviously referring to the Green Arrow. But I think this season they changed it, and he said I have to become I think he said something bigger. I think that's what he says.
Ew.
Yeah. So,
Immature.
but either way, like I thought that was dope. I'm like,
Now that's
if-
cool.
If you're gonna,
That's an
you-
arc.
right?
That's what I call a fucking arc.
And you're still gonna have Oliver leading the pack to
Exactly.
defeating Anti-Mon. Like
Exactly.
you're not just gonna have like kill him off and then like have all these Martian Manhunter who's a side character on
Yeah. Yeah.
it's dope.
Yeah.
And that, when I was listening to the John Campea show and he was talking about it, he was like, I love that aspect because he started this whole universe. People still look at him for leadership. Guy has no powers, but dude could lead a team.
Exactly.
And this means that like Stephen Amell is no more. Like that's it. He's done with his arc.
I
but-
think he needs to get an MCU gig. Steven, yo,
Why MCU?
shut up. Steven, yo, holla at me, my guy. I can get you a job. All right. After this whole Arrow stuff is over, Kevin could hook you up. I'd like to cast Stephen Amell as Johnny Storm.
Wow.
That's not a bad.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him as that because he has the charisma for it. It's cool.
Interesting.
I'd like to see him up there with Jim and his wife. Jim from The Office, that is.
Yo,
Emily Blunt.
that's
Jim and Emily
A1
Blunt.
casting.
All right, enough about
Yeah.
Fantastic
enough about Crisis. Let's talk Fantastic Four. Switch over, like
But is that how the episode ends?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
so we get Harbinger returns on the ship.
And like
Right.
this is after Anti-Monitor talk, and then she starts like bullshitting. She's like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something
Like,
happened.
I'm forgetting.
I'm forgetting what happened." And John Dick was like, "I'm just happy you're okay." And then they kiss and
Luckily, like they like Barry caught it quick. He was
Barry.
like,
I'm so happy it was Barry too. I'm like, wait. He was like, "This isn't adding up. This like she could easily have been like Anti-Monitor could have went to her or
Yeah.
something."
And I'm
Yeah.
just happy, like they're
The
not just like
setup.
they're not always like oh you're not remembering anything and oh you have a connection to Anti-Monitor like no like. This
And
is
then
some
Monitor
bullshit.
is like, maybe she's already been taken over by my brother. And then Pariah is like, wait, why? What is Pariah is supposed to like? What's his role in everything?
Okay.
He's supposed to watch Earth's die.
Exactly.
Why has he been on Earth 1 for so long? Because that means
Something's coming.
Earth
Something-
1's
Earth
about to
1's
die.
Get died.
And then
By the way, it's the last Earth.
this
There's
yeah,
no more Earths.
No more Earths.
All of them got canceled, but Earth 1
Oh,
is the only
shit.
remaining one.
And like he
Yeah.
I love how they put that. He's like, wait, if I'm here, that means I'm supposed to watch the last remaining Earth die.
Yeah. So
and like
then,
I'm like, that's
we
crazy.
see her eyes get white, and she's been.
And this is
taken over by
exactly what happens in the
Antimonitor.
comics.
Yeah.
Like she just goes crazy, and then like they have like a big fight, this and that, and like she just goes crazy, and then she kills.
They have a Dragon Ball Z moment. Like
Yeah, like even LaMonica Garrett calls
Yeah.
it Dragon Ball Z in his
I think
Instagram post.
yeah.
He was like,
Or he was like, Hatu.
yeah, mad funny. But like they have a literal shot by shot like comic book fight, and I think it was like, it was just so good.
Yeah, and because Harbinger kills the monitor in the comic book, and she
shit.
kills
So
him.
look, that's the comic book thing right there, and that's the monitor dying, and that's in the television. Like they're literally having,
Well, spoiler, guys.
yeah, spoiler.
I mean, if you're listening to this,
Yeah,
this long,
yo, you 2 hours in, my guy.
I can't believe they spoiled it for me. Why am I still listening? But so before that though, just like on a side note, real quick, Batwoman tells Supergirl about the kryptonite.
yeah,
She gets it out the way.
She's like, hey, let me come clean.
Word.
I was about to wash you.
But she did like explain to her like, look, like, don't do this. Like she convinced her not to do. Like,
and they had like
look
a
at
cool
Destiny and
moment.
do
Like
it.
I'm trying to remember, what was Supergirl the paragon of?
She's the paragon of hope.
Hope. Okay, so she's the paragon of
I
hope.
can explain who all the paragons are to you guys. Flash equals love.
Love,
Which
the
was
paragon of
weird.
love.
Like they even they looked at it in the show. Like Iris looked at him. Like no, Iris was the only one that was like okay, but then the rest were like, oh,
Wait,
like,
love.
okay. We missed an important thing before we got to the end. They recruited Iris, Brandon Ross, Adam, and who was the other one? Recruited Ryan
Oh,
Choi.
Choi. Ryan, do you know who Ryan Choi is?
He's basically the other Adam who
He
takes
becomes
over
he
after.
takes over.
oh,
Ray.
so like the cooler Adam.
He's like he's like a professor, and he's a family man. Like he has a daughter and a wife, and like he's like, I can't save the world. I gotta go hang out. Like,
Yeah, so he's like, I
He's-
fuck with him. Bring him on. Bring him on.
he's
I like
mad.
that
Like
guy.
no, and he's played by. You watch Supernatural?
Who on there?
Osric Chow. He's. Damn.
I know of
The
Supernatural.
Asian on Supernatural. That's-
Okay.
Literally.
Wow.
The Asian on Supernatural. But like he was just very charismatic. That's what I liked about
No,
the acting.
I'm glad that
Just off the bat from that line of dialogue you said there. Yeah, bring him on. Bring him on.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
I'm
Brandon.
glad they didn't. Come on, man.
Say, hold on.
We're trying to get him on the podcast.
I know. Yeah. How are you?
I'm gonna keep that same energy. I'm gonna say, yo, your characters was trash, bro. That's it. He's gonna be like, I respect your opinion, but
He would seem like that kind of
we'll
guy.
step
right?
outside.
Definitely. Yeah. Step outside. I'll step on you. That man's humongous.
Yo, shout out to us, like actually like vibing.
I
like
know.
not
We haven't
fighting
got
all
up
this
yet.
episode.
We get up and fight like almost every episode. But let me continue the Paragon. So Adam Humanity, Supergirl Hope, Superman Truth,
Or justice.
Basically.
Batwoman Courage, White Canary Destiny, Martian Manhunter Honor.
Hope. Oh, honor.
Oh, I was gonna say non-existent because it doesn't show up.
So he has been kind of irrelevant so far.
Come on, bro.
He's-
How is he a
he's-
paragon?
Well, he's
gonna
gonna be-
pl-
he's
yo,
gonna be
the fourth
bigger, right?
episode, the last episode, he's gonna play Monumental.
That's a drop.
So those are all the 7 Paragons needed
right.
to,
And, like,
to save the universe.
They have like this cool
Multiverse.
dialogue. They were like, she's like, you can take the crypt, or like she covers the kryptonite. She's like, you
Yeah.
can take it away from me. He was like, no, I think you have the courage not to use it. And she was like, I hope you have. I don't know, like they just used their paragons like against each
Against
other.
it, right.
So, like it was pretty cool.
I hope.
And I hope you will never have to use it. I think
Yeah.
or something like that. But yeah, it's like whatever,
cool.
cool.
It's a lot of courage. You
It's-
trying to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's-
hope I never have to.
Right. It's like a Bruce and Clark moment.
Yeah, like
just
Bruce
with
always
Supergirl.
kept kryptonite on him. No matter, he stayed strapped with it. Like he never.
Like,
took it
people,
off.
Of course,
people, people
bro.
be forgetting like they're cool, but he's like, yo, motherfucker, in case you ever get
Exactly,
crazy,
yo. I keep it on me, like Casanova. Like he says, I always
Yeah.
keep that
Strap.
on
that's the
me.
only strap, exactly. So, yeah. So Pariah still knows what he knows what he has to do. So
Yeah.
he brings the 7 Paragons to a place called the Vanishing Point.
Where like time and space are just like doesn't happen.
It's like it's just an abyss.
yeah, literally.
Okay,
an abyss.
got it.
So that way, Anti-Monitor can't find them.
He
But
just
That's
then-
it. You just need to be there.
he just sends them there, and like they're like trapped. Like they don't know what to do there.
Yeah.
Like the Seven
Like there's
Paragons.
literally nothing there.
There's literally
Okay.
nothing.
So Earth 1 gets destroyed. So Iris gone. Tyler
Superman's
Hoechlin,
Tyler.
gone.
Like they're all like
Is Adam okay?
no, he's gone.
Like Brandon Ruth Adam?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Oh man.
But Kingdom Come is there. Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah, he's one of the Seven Paragons, so he went to that vanishing
Alright.
point. And then
they had a dope moment. They
It's a
were
shame
like,
he didn't stay on that earth to like save people. Or anything.
I was like, wait, why switched up so fast?
that's a sarcastic tone. Yeah. So, but what was cool about that at the end? They were telling the Anti-Mon, they're like they're gonna beat you with their dying, like all their dying breaths. Like you're not gonna win.
And then
Yeah,
Iris,
we all know Anti-Mon is gonna get washed.
And then like Iris and Superman have this like nod, and then like they nod at each other, and then they just fade,
Vanish.
like they just
So,
vanish.
no Earths.
And like the way
No
they
multiverse.
vanish is like you can see like their skeleton, like their bones just.
Yeah,
like,
it's
Oh, like
crazy.
Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen, like that.
yo, literally, like
Yeah.
it's so sick. I love
it's
it.
crazy.
It looks like they they put all their freaking money into that and them vanishing.
Yeah, it's
But,
crazy.
So they're in the vanishing point, and they're like kind of just like, yo, what do we do now? And then Kingdom Come Superman, Brandon Ross Superman, starts like feeling weird,
Oh no.
and then out of nowhere he vanishes, and guess who
then-
takes his place? Lex Luthor.
He has the Book of Destiny. He was like, I think history.
Yeah, he had a page.
Man, this dude don't stop.
For real.
So
He was
they,
like-
they did he have it or he just
He had
the-
it. He had it on
Oh.
him. He was like, I think history needed a little rewrite, and then he pulled out the paper, and then he crossed out Superman as the paragon.
And
he
put Lex Luthor.
He spelled out Lex, and then he was like, "So, what do we do now?" And then it just ends. And I'm like, I felt like that was so fucking annoying and so dumb, but then I realized like
It makes
if
sense
I'm
because
if
Superman's
I'm-
OP.
No, yeah, that too. That's from a logical standpoint.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah.
I'm thinking like, yo, if Lex is really making me annoyed, then he succeeded because that's all Lex Luthor has done in like ever.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
ever
yeah.
It
did.
was just being annoying.
Being
to
annoying
Superman.
and just fucking
But
irritating.
what I like about this, or at least because when we first get introduced to the Seven Paragons, I'm thinking like, oh, it's gonna be the top dogs. It's gonna be Green Arrow, Flash, White Canary, most likely, us Superman, Martian Manhunter, kind of like a resemblance of the Justice League, the seven members.
Which they weren't able to use that word. They tried to put it in the crossover.
Really,
said
they
no.
did. That would have been dope.
Wait, so why not?
Release the Snyder Cut. That's why.
You dead ass.
Nah, that's not
Imagine.
right.
But there's just certain things they can and
Yeah.
can't do that Warner Brothers not allowing them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I kind of like this route they went just because it's surprising. Because if they went like just your typical, route, it's not that it would like everyone would have been like nice, but it's surprising. Like I would never guess Martian Manhunter would have been one of the Paragons. Batwoman or Ryan Choi. Like he hasn't been introduced yet. Like he's one of the Paragons.
That was his introduction into the show, like into the whole universe.
Right.
Like,
Wow,
he
he
was just a paragon.
Just threw him in there.
But I like that because it's that whole fish out of water thing. Like he's just
Exactly.
gonna have to acclimate and
Exactly.
okay, that's cool because look, everybody loves to team up. Everybody loves to team up, especially when there's like again the world or the worlds are at
Right.
stake.
The
So
universe,
everybody
yeah.
has to like
Yeah.
fucking coalesce
and
and
it's
shit.
7 people who, like the only people that have had interactions there really have been like White Canary,
And
Supergirl,
Flash.
And Arrow
Super-
and Flash
yeah.
and Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow isn't even a paragon.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
not.
He's
so
not
he's
even
gonna be
a
Spectre, but he's gonna be leading these 7.
Bro, that's gonna be fucking crazy. I want to see
So
how he looks in that suit.
So that's how it ended. Yeah, same.
And then that's how it ends. And now we have to wait till January 14th for the next.
Damn, that's a break.
And it's gonna be 2 more episodes, which is the Arrow episode and the Legends
Bro,
episode.
but like it's back to back. It's not 2 separate days or weeks. It's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It's like
Yeah.
a 2-hour. It's gonna be a 2-hour like
Oh
movie.
shit. All right.
that's smooth. I fuck with that.
All right, so guys, the week of January 14th, we're gonna be back with the
We
breakdown
will.
of this.
Hell yeah.
And so we're done with Crisis stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
we touched on it.
let me get into this guy now. So, like, how did you start this page exactly? Like, what was like? I'm clearly you fuck with Flash.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm joking. But I mean, I was in 8th grade when I started this page. This was like 8th grade. I had like an art account, thinking that I was like the shit because I was able to like Photoshop colors. So I made an account on it,
All right.
and then I used to follow this account called world_of_the_flash_.
Damn.
The longest username I've ever seen in my life. And like he had like 1,500 followers. Like he didn't have that much followers, but like he said, I'm giving this account away. I have no much time. I'm just gonna give it away
Yeah.
because like but I'm giving it to the biggest Flash fan. So DM me and I'll asking you some questions and I'll give you the page, because I can't do anything with it. Like it was at 1,500 for like what?
Wow, this dude's probably looking at your page now like,
Yo,
what?
he's punching the air right now. He's like,
So like he asked a lot of questions and then I guess I won because he gave me the password. He
Yeah.
gave me the email, and then I changed everything. But I changed the name to world_of_flash_. So like I just took out the because that was very dumb. So like no, and like I haven't been able to contact that guy. Like he disappeared from the face of the earth. I was never
Really?
found him. Never found him.
Wow.
Wow.
Always wanted to talk to him. Like thank you for doing this, and I just,
You're Spectre.
literally, man.
Yeah, that just got passed on
Just
to you.
never been able, and like I kind of needed him because so I brung the account up.
Yeah.
Like this was when Flash was popping, season 2.
All right.
Season 2, Flash was going crazy.
Oof,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I know popularity
that's
spiked
when
there.
his-
Yeah.
Yo, so like I brung it up to 10K in like a matter of a month,
Damn.
and then 20K, 30K,
That's
and then
insane.
went up to 100K by December. I got it in April at
Wow.
1500. December was at 100K.
How often were you posting? Would you say?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day from 8th grade, and then it started like December got it to
Yeah.
100K, then February 200K. Literally, a month I gained 100,000. It was like it's fucking ridiculous, and then
How was that though? Like, how
Oh,
like
man.
because I'm like I don't. Props to you.
thank you.
Props to you for that and stuff. But like I don't see any like real value to that for me.
Yeah,
for
no,
me.
like
But for you, that must have been huge because you're such a you're
I was
a fan of it.
15, I was 15 years old, 14
Yeah.
years old.
That's insane.
So like when I
man.
got it up,
Probably
like,
yo, I don't gotta work. I don't need an education. I am famous.
and like I was
bitch.
getting money from it. Like people,
Right.
like ads would come to me, like they want money, and I used to charge like $20 per post and whatnot.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
gaining like revenue from it, and like I got up to 200K. Then I was able to bump up my price to $40 per post,
Mhm.
and then I got up to 291,115 followers. September 30th, 2017. And then I posted a picture of Grant Gustin behind the scenes. Like it was a photographer that took it. Set photo.
And it was like exclusive. It was like,
It was trending all over Twitter.
oh, okay, all right.
But me being the biggest Flash account, I'm like the biggest target. So when I posted it, I gave credit to the photographer and whatnot, but I guess she didn't want it to be posted.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. Why would you
Yeah,
post
yeah.
something publicly if you don't want it to be out there?
Trending on Twitter, but hey.
Trending on Twitter. And then
Alright.
I post it, and then she's like, I don't want this on. I reported the post. And I was like, no, I took it down already. You don't need to report anything. It's okay. I'll take it down. And then she was like, it's okay. Too late. And then I was like, okay.
All right.
A couple hours go by. I go to, like, I remember my mom's friend being over. She's like, can you show me your account? I was like, yeah. So I go on the laptop, user not found. And I'm like,
So you got shadow banned.
not shadow. I got taken down.
Oh,
whole account, bro.
shit.
Almost 300K.
So then what happened?
I go on my phone. It says your account has been deactivated. Learn more on how you can get it back. I go, and they were like, "You taken down for copyright issues, this, and that." And I was like, "Stop,
Well,
stop."
It ain't long for us then.
And I was like, "Wait, hold up, what?" And then like this photographer started talking shit on Twitter, like, "This is like I took down the account, this, and that," and I'm like,
damn.
"What?"
So
She's probably like did like headshots for like Brandon Ruth or something.
Stop,
Bro.
Brandon Rao.
I don't give a fuck.
So like I was just, it was an insane.
Yo, shout out to that photographer. Go fuck yourself.
And I never mentioned her. Like even though she took me down, respect. Fuck her. So like.
I was gonna say that's just us saying it, but
Yeah,
whatever.
like I tried so hard. Like I never mentioned her. Never mentioned her a day in my life. Exactly. Replay that shit right now.
Hold on. Nah, the clip empty. So
Clip is empty. Reload. Grah. Bro, man, I was tight. So I never mentioned her because I never wanted her to be. I don't ever want it to seem like the harasser type.
exactly, yeah. You was just trying to
But
get
like,
your shit back.
people knew who the photographer was from my old account.
Yeah.
So like they approached her about it, like, "Yo, what the fuck did you just do? You just took down the biggest Flash account on all of Instagram." And like I was like, "Yo, guys, just leave her alone. It's not worth it. It's down."
Yo, you got a hive, dude?
Yo, it was
Flash
crazy.
hive?
Yo,
Flash
did you
hive.
go back to being the biggest?
Mhm.
Now?
I'm now the big
Damn. My man said, "Oh, delete it. No problem. I'll start a new one."
Wait,
Just
so
like that.
all right, so how did you get the
So like, look, they were like, "You know what? You can learn how to get your account back. I need you. Instagram send me a message. Hold a paper holding these numbers so we can get validity that it's you."
Yeah.
And then Instagram is all run by computers. No customer service at all. So I send the picture, and then I get an email Like I get an email and it was like from like this email with like a bunch of letters and numbers, and I was like, that's a throwaway account for Instagram. It was from an Instagram representative.
Okay.
It was like, you cannot get your account back. This was your final like motive or something like that, and they're like, you can't get your account back. You're never using that account ever again. And like I was just like that.
That's some bullshit. That's
So,
some
like,
deeper, darker shit going on there. Because
Yeah.
when you're telling me there's certain people who get their shit taken down and they come right back.
Yeah. So I
Especially
wasn't.
with that amount of bro, like 300.
Come on,
Like, what do you think you'd be at right now if you kept that account?
over a million for sure.
I don't know about
not
a million.
but like
800,000.
I'm at,
Right.
It could
Right.
have been there. Like
Yeah.
it could have been there because
That's-
people see numbers and they'd help that number. But like
Yeah.
back,
that is true. It's like, oh, dude, I'm gonna follow them because
yeah,
they
because he
got
got mad clout. So, I mean, it was heartbreaking to say the least. But like there was that whole week I was just sick from school. I was sick in my stomach. Michael left the office when I was watching, trying to keep my head off of shit.
Man.
I watched The Office to like take away from that, and I see Michael leave, and I just start crying again. I'm like, fuck, what is going on?
Yeah, that moment with him and Jim
Oh
was,
my
was heartbreaking.
God.
Yeah.
So, like,
Spoilers,
Yeah, like,
I guess.
but like it was such a like gut wrenching week, and then like I start going on Instagram, and then my friend texts me. He's like, "Yo, check the hashtag." I click the hashtag. It's called Bring Back World of Flash.
Wow.
1,000 posts. 1,000 posts from people saying Bring Back World of Flash. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Oh shit.
And then I don't know if you guys know who this actor is. His name is Derek Thieler. You guys ever seen
Yeah.
the show Baby Daddy?
Yeah. The tall,
The
real
tall-
tall buff dude. He was in one of the Marvel shows, right?
He was going to be in that he was, I don't know what the team was. I forgot what it was called. New Warriors. There we go.
Oh, right.
But that show got Marvel TV. It's gone.
Damn, they
But like,
I didn't know any of that.
but like, so like he's an actor. Like he was campaigning to be Shazam. He was
Oh.
he was like
I
he was
remember
top dog. Like it was him, Zachary Levi, and another actor that were gonna be like they were the finalists. Literally, he was about to be Shazam, and then Zachary Levi, knowing that he's Zachary Levi, so of course he won the role.
Yeah, like I didn't like Shazam, but he owned that shit and he had a
Yeah.
blast. So
Yeah,
shout out to
yeah.
him. But Freddie, he's the fucking goat.
ready to go.
Yeah. So
He's
like
actually here with us right now.
that's crazy.
Every video we post a picture of Freddie, he's just chilling with us. Ready to go.
Oh man. But so like he sends me messages, he comments on the posts, and I'll post. I have my like I had like
by this time you already
had a-
created the new
I had
account?
a backup account. Like it had like 2,000 followers.
All right, okay,
Like
okay.
everybody knew. It started getting more followers because they knew my account was taken down. It went up
Yeah.
to like 5K.
All right.
And then they were like, "Yo, what happened to your account?" Comments flooded, and I'm like, I just posted. I'm like, "Yo, I don't think I'm coming back because this is like a whole like different like this fucked up my my mental stability. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't mentally stable. Like I was fucking.
Bro,
like,
I would take some PTO. days. I'm
No,
like,
no, but the
that
thing is
happened.
that I understand because this is something that you worked at. It's
Exactly.
like you put time into this.
like it's not even at the number. Like everything was stripped away. I had no memory of the account whatsoever. It was all gone.
That's crazy.
All gone. So I just I go on the thing, and then Derek Thieler comments. He was like, "You can't leave. Like, do you see this hashtag?
Damn.
This and that?" And I'm like, "Bro, that's some crazy
That's
shit."
your hero now.
That's like that. Like, yo, I'm like, oh man.
You're the Spectre, dude. You gotta go.
And then like I don't know, like I just start posting again, and it was like just in time for Justice League. Justice League came out, and I was
2017.
yeah.
All right.
So like that
November.
was getting me some like some
Some traction, yeah.
Then it went
Especially
up to
because you get to post a lot of extra
exactly.
stuff.
And then like it went to 20K, 30K, and right now I'm at 125K.
Still bounce back.
Bounce back, yeah.
That is a
Bounce back.
yeah.
That's a
And
bounce
you
back
said,
to me.
Still the biggest Flash page.
That's
the fact
crazy.
that man's hit the low, all these other accounts have time to generate, but he's like, nope, I'm gonna just pass y'all right back. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome, dude.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So like, is there a particular reason why you believe that you got attacked like that? Like, if it was just off a picture, bro, like,
She was known. Like I know some photographers that know. Like she was known as the stingy one. Like everybody knew.
oh, okay,
Everybody
okay.
knew about her. And like
Yeah, but the thing is that how she had that energy for you, but not for shit
I was
on
just
Twitter.
the biggest target.
Right, because
Oh,
he
alright.
was
He was the biggest account.
Yeah.
Okay,
So she was
alright.
like, you know what, like, nah. Even she probably did see that you tagged her and was like, yo, credit to whoever.
I know that's like I have a screenshot, but like it's back in the cloud. Like I was like credit to whatever her name was for the photo,
Yeah.
and like
Right. That's why, yo, like, even if I get pictures on the internet, I'll just put, and I don't know the artist, like, credit to whoever did this.
Yeah.
Because nowadays,
Even the memes I be sending you and stuff, like I got this off of Reddit. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
put the you slash
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
your
yeah.
username is all the time. I don't remember
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
So like the picture wasn't even crazy. It was a picture of Grant Gustin in a jacket and a blue suit. It wasn't him in the actual Flash suit. And I was like, yo, you know what? I have this exact outfit. I'm gonna wear it to New York Comic Con. That's what I posted. And I said, oh, by the way, credit to the photographer taking this pretty cool photo. And like, she just wasn't having it. Man, but like, it was
Stingy ass.
very stingy. Very stingy.
That's nuts. But like, what are your thoughts now on Flash in general? Like in terms of in cinema and on TV. Like obviously we just spent 2 hours talking about.
I mean,
What
in other
TV
media, I guess
Flash,
you mean
yeah.
like comic books haven't been at a high for Flash.
All right.
It hasn't been at a high. The movies, we all know the movie standpoint. It just got a release date for 2022. When in 2016 it got the 2018 release date. In 2018 it got the 2020 release date. Now we're going into 2020. Now it has a 2022 release date. But it seems like I feel like now it's finally getting traction because we got Andy Muschietti as the director.
Yeah.
The It 2 chapter.
Which is weird because you got a horror director. But again, James Wan did
James
Aquaman.
Wan, Pony Smasher, Andy Samberg did Shazam. Russo Bros, who were comedy directors, did like it's. I guess like
Yeah.
he wanted to get out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's
Jordan Peele, comedian.
Exactly,
directing.
doing Get Out because I feel like people who direct a certain form of genre, like for example, a lot of comedians do really good, are really good at doing dark
Jordan
shit.
Peele, man.
Yeah,
Jordan Peele.
They're amazing at doing dark shit for some reason because they get it. They're in touch with reality and what's fucked up.
Right.
But then you also have horror directors who know what the deal is and they can make either a
You
funny movie
Did you
or
see
fun.
It too?
I have it on Blu-ray in my background now, and I'm gonna
But
go
like,
watch it. After
yeah,
this.
like it's really like the theme was definitely like heart and family, and like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what Barry is. Like he's that very like.
Oh, so then he could pour that shit into Flash.
Exactly.
And now, but the thing now, do you think that the Flash film should be Flashpoint? Do you
No.
think that it should be?
No,
All right. What should be like?
it
if
should
you were
be
to pitch it right
a
now,
regular Rogues Flash film. I don't think you should introduce. You should introduce Reverse Flash, but not as the villain. Like make him for a sequel. Make him for a sequel. Get him.
Like
Get the
tease
hype.
him.
Yeah, tease him
Alright.
exactly. Make him like be in the shadows. Like like the reference. Like my mother died by like something crazy, and I never found out how.
yeah.
And, like have the rogues, and then maybe like he's controlling the rogues. Maybe like have him
Okay,
be in
all
the
right,
shadows.
all right. That's cool because I was campaigning. I'm not campaigning literally,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, right.
Did you want Flashpoint?
I want Flashpoint with Snyderverse though.
Yeah,
Because that can.
I get what you mean by that.
You know why? Because we had Thomas Wayne himself. I forgot his fucking
Jeffrey
name.
Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Dean Morgan, de lo mío. He looks like my dad, bro. Like he looks just like my dad. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he was on Kimmel, and Kimmel was like, "So if there were to be like some type of alternate timeline Flashpoint movie, would you be playing Batman?" And Jeffrey Dean Morgan deadass went,
Because here's my thing. There's no way Zach is casting that big of an actor to be on screen for.
Not.
"That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's
for 2
not for
minutes.
no reason."
Right, but
Exactly.
We
it's
all
like-
know what happened to Snyder's vision.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Flashpoint would be such a easy scapegoat for them to just rewrite.
Exactly,
Ben
to
Affleck
reboot
leaving.
everything. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
We got Robert Pattinson, or like they should do a multiverse thing because then you can add Joker into it. It's not a part of our universe,
Exactly,
but
yeah.
it's there.
It's part of the
It's in
same thread.
Right.
So, do you feel that? How do you feel about Warner Brothers as a studio handling DC content as a whole?
I think they're doing pretty horribly because like the amount of like how many universes can you name off the top of your head for DC? You can name the Titans verse.
Okay.
You can name the Arrowverse. You can name that Krypton show.
And
You
now
can
newly the Watchmen verse,
now
I
the
guess.
Watchmen verse, DCEU,
Yeah, it's
Robert
like-
Pattinson, Batman. Like there's so many DC
They're all over
universes.
the place.
All over. Like the general public, like they're mind fucked. They don't know what the hell's going on. Like, hey, why isn't Arrow and Flash connected to the movies?
Again, because of a not a trend, but a kind of like a standard that we are used to. Like everything is
Exactly.
supposed to be connected for the sake of
Exactly.
for the sake of us sitting down in the seats, because it's like for example, like what we brought up earlier about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like if we were to see him cast in the fucking Flashpoint movie, we'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna be popping, like
yeah.
he's gonna be shooting people up, like it's lit. So just like his son, but like, do you think that DC should have their like DC Studios?
Oh,
I think
I
that
love
that's
the
what they
joke.
should have done.
I wish.
I think Geoff Johns needs to
Yeah, Jeff Johns. Yeah,
Jeff
no.
Johns, whatever your
Yeah,
name
he's-
is.
Geoff.
No,
See ya.
I don't know. I don't think it's like he runs as much as DC as he can. Warner Brothers is the people pulling the strings.
No, yeah, they're the ones with the nasty hands. But I'm just saying, like,
I feel like he's
That's what I'm
trying.
saying. I think HBO Max is a perfect way to just get all your
Segue.
content.
yeah. But
on
the
there.
thing is that that is still heavily. I'm losing words. It's still heavily produced by the studio. So you know what I'm saying? So like even
yeah, but at least we have something.
But you got to
That's
remember
on the same-
HBO. Like that's fucking HBO.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still Warner. Like it's still Warner Bros. Though.
Have you seen Watchmen?
No,
Yeah.
right?
No,
I get it.
okay. That there are some exceptions because again, Watchmen was a risk that Warner took because rated R superhero films was a thing of the late '90s with Blade. Like that wasn't, and even Blade wasn't fully pushed as and marketed as like, oh, a new Marvel film. It was just Blade.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now you have Watchmen coming in. You have 300 not too long ago, but 3 years before Watchmen. That was also Zach, page by page, rated R. Did pretty well for me, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then Watchmen got mixed reviews, so then now it like I feel like that's where like DC started getting iffy with how they were handling stuff, unless it was a Christopher Nolan, you know what I'm saying?
Dark Knight type thing. Yeah.
So like, it just sucks that it's come to this where like both studios can't be like getting
Together.
money at the same time like that, but
Like
they
everybody
profited crazy.
wishes. Everybody wishes like Disney, like they can have that Disney type, like Marvel type thing because they're just so like intact with each other. Like
Exactly.
they have no problems whatsoever. Like yeah,
Exactly.
there could be some cheesy things that people will disagree on, but why would they give a fuck? They
Exactly.
You know what it is?
What?
You know what I think as well is I think Warner gave that to Zach. Like the title Kevin Feige has, I think Warner wanted to do the same thing with Zack Snyder. Like, hey, oversee all of the DC
Yeah,
stuff.
because
did.
But
his
then- but
influence
then-
is felt in the first Wonder Woman film
Right.
until
but-
that whole Ares bullshit. But see ya.
So then Man of Steel is split. So they're like, okay, that's fine. Like
And Chris
we
Nolan was on that too.
right.
Chris Nolan was
They're
on
like,
that
they're like
too.
it's fine. It's still profited. This and that. Then Batman vs Superman comes out. Although
878 million, not enough.
right,
I
it
guess
did
so.
right. It did profit,
But like
but
you got to put into perspective, those are the two biggest heroes in the whole entire world.
And it
yeah, the fact that it didn't hit $1 billion is just
yeah,
that's
but
nice.
again, the thing is that we discussed this in our BVS versus Endgame podcast. It's just like you're releasing a very dense film, very heavy in the atmosphere of
in the MCU era.
the MCU era that we're still in. The
Yeah.
MCU is like Drake right now, just killing for the last 10 years, and now
I would say the MCU is Pusha T, and then the DCU is Drake, and they
Why?
just keep dissing them because with all the content they're dropping. Nah, I was just playing. But like this Pusha
no, I was
T-
gonna say that.
Pusha T son Drake. That's what I meant.
Oh,
Yeah, he
okay,
did.
that's fine. I don't
He
mind
did.
that. It's cool. Hug your
But-
mom.
Hug your mom. But my thing is that then they saw that, and that's why, because Suicide Squad was supposed to be a much darker movie.
Dude, that was with
Go-
the
go
Skittles
back-
filter,
Yo, go back and watch the first trailer. Look how dark of a trailer that was. Like,
and
it
even the
was-
logo.
Even David Ayer like said it. He's like, "Yo, my cut didn't get released."
Yo, release the air.
Release the air cut. Oh God.
But so then they told Zach too, like, hey, make it a lighter tone, which Zach agreed with. He was like, okay, like, I'll make it lighter. I won't, fucking.
I won't put the
it,
brightness up all the way,
right,
my guy.
But like, I'll give crack a few jokes here and there. But then yeah, sadly, they I remember they said it was unwatchable. They said Zack Snyder's cut was unwatchable.
Yeah, but look where we are now.
Right. So exactly, I think if any negotiations are happening, they kind of want Zack back. Like, they're not just gonna release it and not hire him back to be like, hey, oversee this stuff. But
Yeah.
Zack at the same time has to be like, if y'all want me to oversee this shit,
Release my.
not even that. Just I want the freedom
Give me the
Feige has at
reins.
Disney.
Yeah, give me the reins. Like, make me
Like,
make a studio.
Disney's not even like overlooking Feige. They're just like, go ahead.
Exactly,
they're
because
like-
they gave Feige the keys to Star Wars, bro. That's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, this dude's running almost everything.
He's
on the
running
Disney-
2/3 of Disney,
Right,
Basically,
right.
of what their profit is.
That
So,
man.
so do you think that? Do you think that if Zach were to, I mean,
so much power. Holy
I fuck with Zach heavy, but I think that he needs like like a wingman or somebody to be like, yo, like, let
You
this
need-
guy.
You need people with two different perspectives on
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
Because not everyone fucks with Zach's vision.
Exactly. I know that. I
And
know
not
that.
everybody should fuck with the other guy's vision too. So like that you get.
You need some.
a-
You need a balance.
Perfectly
Exactly.
balanced. That's all things should.
As
be,
all
but-
things should be. But the thing is that, like, one last point is that, imagine if. Whoa. I don't know what that was.
Was that mine? I think it was mine.
Man's turned on his phone for a second. It's just-
Nah, but I just think that if Zach were to get some push from somebody to create a studio, like a sub studio under DC, like Marvel is under Disney, Warner Brothers wouldn't have to really worry. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of work to keep in check with all these franchises. That's why Disney is just chilling, because they're like, oh, we just got to worry about Frozen and shit over here and running Disney Plus.
Right. But
And the parks and stuff.
Our subcategories are just giving all
Exactly,
the rights to
and they're
other people.
bringing on all the money. So, like, hopefully they come to something.
Disney is like the most like. How isn't that shit a monopoly right now? That is crazy.
That's not something for you to worry about, my guy.
Like, no, I'm not complaining because I'm getting the content that I need and that I want.
Yeah.
So like, fans are succeeding, and so are they.
But yo, we went through everything.
All right, guys, no new podcast for the next year. So
You heard it here
We're just gonna
first.
space it out.
But yo, my guy Eunice, thanks, man. Like, this was really lit.
no problem.
This was
is
great,
mad
man.
fun.
Is there anything
Didn't you have a gift for us for the
Oh,
podcast?
Okay. Gift. So I've heard. So Flash movie, July 1st, 2022.
Uh-huh.
I'm hearing Gorilla Grodd and Captain Cold, along with a recast of a certain character.
Now, is this a recast of an Iris?
Already casted.
Also Flash.
Is it Flash? Is it Henry? Is it Iris?
The world may never know.
Find
on the
out
next
July
episode.
1st, 2022.
with asterisk on it, because that shit. I hope that shit don't get pushed back again. But
Oh man.
yeah, my guy. Thanks a lot. Hopefully you come through soon again. You know what it
Definitely.
is.
Definitely.
This is.
We
There's
live
a lot of
so
you
close.
you got a seat with the villains. You chilling with us.
Chilling.
Like, you could
I
create.
guess it's only right if we're doing villains, you got to be Reverse Flash.
I'll be easily the reverse. I'll easily.
We're here with Reverse Flash,
I'll
my
be
guy.
here
Yeah. But yeah, is there anything you want to plug before? Like,
Instagram at Real World of Flash. Follow me there.
There you
that's
go.
it. All right.
All right, thanks for
So,
joining.
Thanks for
chilling.
coming through. And if there's anything that we missed or anything that
I
you think
doubt
is
it.
Highly doubt it.
and guys, just comment on IG, comment on YouTube. This will be up on YouTube in a couple days. And yeah, follow us on Anchor, follow us on YouTube, follow us on IG
Instagram.
at Comic Gods. And if something is unexplainable, multiverse.